The forge has gone quiet, the bellows blow no more. The forge has gone quiet, the smiths have gone home. Only fading embers remain, and my hearth grows cold. One kiss from you to rekindle it all.
Welcome back to Queen of Embers, episode 69. 69! I like. Yeah, we are in episode 69, where every die roll of a 69 or a flip die roll of 96 is indeed a critical success. That's how excited we are about this.
So excited.
I'm your Game Master, Daniel Fox. This is the gang, the cult of players who are going to roll endless 69s tonight because we're adults.
Shout out to everyone who's cringing right now.
Yeah. If you're not cringing while you watch us play, you're not watching this, right? Or maybe just not for you, I don't know. Or listening for that matter. I know a lot of people who listen to this on Podbean or podcast and can't see us, but we're very happy about it. We're actually so I did the math today, so I'm gonna read this off to you all. So I looked at all of our stats, like for the length of all of the episodes from game session 1 to 68, and included all of our session 0 stuff, including what we recorded with Kay and Jason separately. So here are the numbers. As of today, we've been playing Queen of Embers for 1.3 years, 257 hours of gaming, and 12 hours of session 0. That's how long we've played this thing. And we're getting close to the end. We're almost to the end of Act 7, and Act 8 is just around the corner. So, without further ado,
This campaign is older than my child.
Oh man,
it is,
wow.
right?
Yeah, so if you're planning on going through the whole thing, you'll just have to take a journey to the end.
That's right.
To the end.
We will probably do between Act 7 and 8 recap of the entire story. Act 8 is the final act where everything kind of culminates with all of the plot laying bare, and then you all will make a decision on how to address that. We'll see what happens though. We survived this fight, in fact, because we actually spent last episode, in the previous episode, in combat. 2 combats. 2 dioramas. 2 combat dioramas. So I think probably to start, now obviously Adam's here, Terwin. While you were gone...
My name's Terwin.
Yeah. While you were gone, Mike did a fantastic impression of Terwin.
Yeah.
No.
How's it go?
I got one eye and I'm angry.
He's irate, I think is what you said.
It was irate.
I'm irate, I'm very angry. And then Kay was like, fire! And
I think at one point he said, I like kids.
Yeah.
We're the kids. Yeah, we're the kids.
He doesn't like them. He just wanted to save them. He's like, save the children.
No, he actually doesn't really like him that much.
That's right.
We're the children.
Swear to me.
There's actually an outtake on episode 68 at the very end of the post-credit scene of Mike and everybody else doing their impression of Terwin.
I did watch that.
Yeah,
I didn't watch the episode because I like being surprised when I'm not there. But
well, you will be surprised indeed, because we're in the middle of the shit. So let's talk about
the shit.
what happened last game session. We know we left off in the middle of combat. Like, well, what happened? Because we did 2 combat scenes.
It was real great. We started with Warren getting divinely kicked in the groin.
Yeah. So the cast manifestations rolled at the very beginning of the game session. What happened, Nick?
Warren and his whole fucking family is now eunuchs. Somehow.
His line has ended.
Yes. His line is ended.
The crazy part about it is, think about this. You didn't cast the spell that caused it. Like, she gets off scot-free.
Mm-hmm.
She truly gets to use you as a vessel of torture.
That's right.
Pretty awesome, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
Anoint weapon. So that happened. His entire line, not just him, but his entire family's line was was ended with the chaos manifestation. So that leads to what happens after that, Eugene.
Hey, at least you succeeded.
Well, he went sterile. Then Harper runs over and grabs up the keg of dynamite at the Siabran's feet. The Siabran had a problem come along, so it whipped it, and he went down. He drops the barrel. It goes a-tumbling, and we all go collectively as it rolls past the open flame, and then we all collectively stop sign, and then it hits the edge, and the top burst open, and we all did it again, and then it was, turns out, out of range of it, so then we all collectively unpuckered.
Yeah.
Then Banneker came around the corner and fired downrange, hit one of the Siabrans in the lift. Then Eliza did the same thing. Plugged him with the last arrow. It dropped that Siabran. Eugene charged and missed the second to last Siabran. Re-rolled, missed again.
Oh.
Then there's a bit more whipping action over near the stairs. That was still coming to a header. The other one decides, I'm just going to take the lift and leave. And so Eugene wisely decides, instead of an opportunity attack, I'll just jump aboard, figuring I'll try and stop him. And I made the call before I really looked at what stats that would probably relate to, which was so gratefully my agility, which is my third worst stat, but only by a margin of 3%. And it was a 19% chance of success, which everyone assumed I critically succeeded because I got a 22, which is 3% outside my score range, and it was a critical fail. So I just fell, dropped all my stuff, practically hogtied myself, ready to go.
Unconscious.
And it was just like, yep, take me prisoner, bruh.
Yeah.
So the Siabran drags him through the darkness, and then we cut back to the mines above, and what happens from there? So we'll take the story from there.
Well, Warren, or she, finishes off the last remaining Siabran, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then we all collectively say farewell to our Eugene, because he's gone. He's dead.
And then they just left.
He's just
That was
left.
the session.
So we all gather up and go, okay, I guess we're going after him. And so we go over to this contraption, take a minute to figure it out. It actually is still working, so gratefully it wasn't disabled. And so we decide to travel down into the darkness, in which it's actually really dark. Like, normal light, like for a lantern, is like 15 yards. But it's like so oppressively dark that it's only like half that. And so,
6.
yeah. And so we were somewhat blindly walking through this place, and we see in the distance like a candle, I think it was.
It was another lamp, but yeah,
Another
roughly
lamp?
the same thing.
Yeah.
Same distance.
And so curiosity gets the better of us, and we're like, we gotta go see this thing. And it's I believe it's a table that has a sculpture of the cityscape on it. And we realize that it's pretty much the exact same copy that we saw at the Da Vinci house, was it?
Yeah. I was going to wait to see how you pronounced it.
Yeah, I was like,
what's he going to say? What's he going to say? The lasagna place?
the lasagna house.
Lasagna house?
The pasta palace.
We remember what did it call Legate lasagna?
Jason's over there dying.
Oh god, he could not breathe root beer.
Yeah, no.
The
The Legate. You mean the lasagna patrol? No. What? You know what? I'm sorry. That's like
I'm
Jason
always on
Gordon
lasagna
Levitt.
patrol. I'm just saying right now.
Jason Gordon Levitt, Mike.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jason Gordon Levitt.
Yeah.
And so, I believe it was Lisa had a statue of one of the towers still in her belongings and
Yeah,
pulls it out.
That's right. She took it from the Lavinci house in Act 2.
Yeah, and realizes that yes, this is indeed a copy of that. And then I believe further down a hall, which we can't really quite see, I do believe we do spy a Siabran.
Before that, though, what did you discover about the model of Durendal? What did Elisa find?
So one other thing that we forgot that was not mentioned is that when she ripped off the mask of the Siabran, her name was whispered.
Well,
We don't know that, right?
let's get to that in just a moment.
Okay.
Let's talk about
But
this.
the other thing is, no, it's fine. So it was making a bunch of the sounds like they heard at the Lavinci house, so she went and checked the tower that she had, and it matched up, and the bell towers all seemed to have conjuring runes around them, as well as lights coming off of them, sort of like mirrors or... and so she figured out that each of the bell towers seemed to have something that was built into them that they were using for conjuring. So that's what she found there. And then at the end, we saw green smoke, and there was a man with a stick. That's what we saw.
Oh,
And the wounded Siabran that had gotten down the elevator. And Elisa tried to call out to him and asked if he spoke common, and he didn't respond, and he tried to drop her to her knees, but she managed to resist it. Yeah. And so then he tried to charge them and tried to cast again. And at that point, she threw him into a circle of sorts that we don't know exactly what it was. But as the Siabran landed in the circle, it summoned a shadow monster that matches the ones back at the island. That we ran
Remember,
into.
he laughed. Maniacally laughed.
Well, yes, he laughed, and then the shadow monsters were summoned.
Oh, or that one. Yeah.
Oh, I looked the scale. That was
So
lovely.
we'll cover what happens in combat in just a few moments, but I want to return back to what else
Okay.
you saw down there. Say aside.
Oh, the difference
table.
machine was also there.
Yeah.
If that's what you're referring to.
And it was
It's going. Yes.
we never saw it working before, right?
Do we know this is
no, we did.
the difference machine?
Yes.
Like, we know it's the one Hexenstern has? Or is this
A different one.
another one?
We have
Like, they
pretty good-
built another.
They said that it was brought in, and we have pretty good authority that only one was ever made. Initially, we were told that by Hexenstern, as well as the...
Should we make it through this? We should carve our initials on the side so we can prove this at a later date when it shows
So
up.
that way we can tell the difference?
Yeah.
Oh God!
God damn it, Mike.
Crit fail.
I thought that's where you were
Crit
going.
Yeah, I was trying to
with
set you up for that. Yeah. I figured you'd pick up on it.
So-
Yeah, Bloodhound with a pun.
Yeah.
What? So let's turn then to Warren, because something pretty critical happened at during this whole thing. What happens?
So during combat, she was killing a Siabran and looked deep into the mask, deciding to see what was beyond. And there was nothing there, just only a whisper of her name, Lilith. So obviously, she's not going to mention that to anyone. But once Warren comes back around, there'll be words to be said.
But Warren got to hear it too, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So we turn to Terwin. Now Terwin, it's dark. It's oppressively dark. Do you have any light?
He wasn't carrying anything when I last played.
Okay. So you're in the bottom of a pit. You've come down this lift, and you're up on the platform, and you see this kind of cavern stretch before you, and it smells like the reek down here. Like the scent is unmistakable. And every once in a while you can see a flash of green light, and you see someone being thrown around in the distance through the shadows. You can see that something is happening. You can hear the cries of your friends, but the darkness is so impenetrably dark, it's hard to make out what's what. It's hard to make out where everybody is. So what we're going to do is we're going to return to combat in just a few moments. But in order to do that, we need to do the reveal. So let's go to our battle cam. I need Kay and Nick's help. We will lift up and over. Yes, to return where we were. So you are in this dank, dark place. This is approximately where Terwin is. And you can see the flashing of light every once so often. But you can't really make out, you kind of make out it's coming around the corner, around the right-hand corner. But there's all manner of detritus along the floor. And as you kind of step off the lift, you can smell the scent of gunpowder, and you can also smell the scent of spent gunpowder, the smell of like rotten eggs, the smell of sickness and of leather and of flesh and of ferrous iron. It's the smell of the reek, and it's absolutely overwhelming down here. And then suddenly you see from around the corner in front of you this huge flash of green light, and you hear the sound of things clattering all over as combat continues, as we move to the top of the round, which is Banneker. So, Banneker, the question is, it's your turn in combat, and to remind us where everybody is for just a mere moment, to place everybody on the map. If we look over here, you are standing here. The difference engine is by you. The table you flipped over is behind you. And you can see standing in front of you this huge, whirling green and black thing of shadow that looks like some sort of strange apparition that reveals like a elongated, like vulture-like person. And there's this blast of green light, and you're blinded for just a moment, and you lose sight of it, and that's when your eyes turn toward the whirring and the ticking of the difference engine, which is right here. But something you didn't notice before, because now that you're near this thing, you can see there are two pedestals on either side of the difference engine, and there are schematics on the wall of the Arkwright Cauldron and a ship that resembles the Madeline. Upon each of those two pedestals, one nearest to you is a slender ivory wand. And on the other side of the difference machine is this stone that's sitting in a basin that is almost seething in water, like it's boiling. Like a seething stone. And immediately reminds you of what the saltpeterman up above said. He said, do you have the ivory wand? Do you have the seed stone? And you recall that when Sammy had been trying to make this thing work, like to give it locomotion, that he was talking about, we need the ivory wand to make this thing work. But you didn't know anything about the seed stone until, of course, the saltpeterman had spoken about it. So you are engaged with the creature at this point, this swarm of shadows, and right next to you is, of course, Harper, who is holding on to the holy symbol he was given at 11 years of age, and in his other hand he's holding out a lantern of light, if I'm not mistaken, right? And as he points the lantern toward the creature, the shadow swarm, and it kind of whirls up along the ceiling, kind of spilling over almost like water, but it's just like comprised of green and black shadow. It seems to recoil from the light. Remember, you were the one who discovered that, I'm sorry, that's right, my apologies. It was Elisa who revealed it seems to be light sensitive, so if you take aim with a source of light, it will lower its damage threshold by -6. But you also know that weapons seem to not do anything to it. Right. So you are standing there. I can't recall. Were you armed with?
I have a lamp.
That's right. You have the lamp. That's right.
He has the lantern.
That's
I
right.
just have one quick question.
Yes.
Can I do this? All right. And how about this? This is probably above board. I just saw Elisa kill the other one with her lamp.
She dispatched it.
Her
yes.
lantern.
Yes.
And I've done nothing with my lamp so far.
Yeah, and remember, she called out. She said that it's weak toward light.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Light, yeah.
Can I swap with him? Since his light is stronger than mine?
Yeah, if you spend an action point.
Okay.
Sure. Harper's not gonna fight you on it.
No, I didn't. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I love land.
I mean, like, swap!
Does everybody have their light source as a weapon?
Yeah, you gave me that right at the end.
Yeah.
Harper's not going to fight anyone on
I guess that's true.
So, you two swap from the lamp to the lantern, and you're standing in front of this thing with its shadowed anatomy.
So I'm gonna aim and attack with light.
So you will take aim for 2 AP, and then
No,
just
take just 1 AP.
so. Okay. So keep in mind that in order to take advantage of its light-sensitive trait,
He's already done that.
to clarify, to take advantage of that, it's 2 AP. That ended last round.
I thought it was on the next attack.
It already happened.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it is a new round.
Cool.
It's not impacted right now.
Okay.
We resolved that last
Yep,
game.
okay.
So
Okay.
so you cost 1 AP.
I don't have enough AP to do.
Just use
Take
a
an
bunch
AP.
of points.
Take an AP. Take a force point.
Take a fortune point.
Yeah.
Add 7. Okay.
Smokes them.
All right. So your attack is going to just you stop. You raise the lantern and bear it before you and kind of thrust it into it. And you can see it start to recoil. Go ahead and make your attack. It's going to be routine because you took aim.
Okay, so that's for a lantern. It's actually simple range. That's why I really want to switch.
So
85%.
hold on a moment, real quickly. Remember, unless if it's a simple range weapon, it cannot be used in your engagement with this. You'll need to move back to do that.
Well, then I won't. I will.
You want to take aim?
I will
Just
not
step
take
back.
aim. I'll step
Okay.
back.
Do you want to move back toward the table or back toward the wall? Toward the difference machine.
Doesn't. Whatever is the easiest to do.
Okay. We'll move you. Your back is now against the wall, and you're standing almost side by side with the ivory wand on the pedestal as the difference machine is kind of clicking and whirring and ticking and spitting out these scrolls of paper with these strange divots in it. Go ahead and make your attack. It's going to be routine. Or sorry, standard.
Okay, 75%. 68 will do.
Okay.
Nice.
And that's 3
So close.
12 or
68?
Oh man, you rolled a 68.
Oh, it's 1.
Oh, nice. So did 10s explode?
No.
No, there's no exploding.
Tens
on
never
any tens.
explode.
Only Fury dice.
All right, so 21 plus 9. That's 30 points of damage.
Wow.
Jeez.
That's why I switched,
As
guys.
Banneker steps back and opens all the vents on the lamp, he holds it aloft and explain what happens when it's slain. What happens? What does it look like?
Does it shudder?
Like what happens to the shadow monster whenever you shine the light toward it?
Starts reverberating and then just.
It's great. The thing has been.
I don't know what yours did. So
It's been dispatched. No, it's perfect. It's good. You own that. You own it. So
Yours melted.
the shadow swarm is dispatched,
Bad.
and that brings Banneker, I believe, to the end of his turn.
Yes, out of AP for sure.
That's right. But we now turn toward the other side of the cavern, where standing upon this stone pedestal that is burning with orange light is this tall, wicked-looking man. Sorry, woman. It's a woman. And she has this strange wooden mask on. She's elongated like the others, and in her hand is this long, petrified staff that she was holding aloft before. She is surrounded by Eugene on one side, and on the other is Lilith, or Warren as we know her as when she is Warren. And at this point, and remember, I believe that you are still hushed. You have one round left on that, by the way, so at the end of this round you'll be able to speak again. Eugene is still hushed by magic. So, as this happens, she will procure from her waist a sack full of bones and rattle them and begin to incant some vile words you can't make sense of. They don't even sound like words. They sound like something coming from in deeper within or perhaps without the world we may understand it. You just don't quite make sense of exactly what she is saying at this point. But she is also going to channel power for 3 steps. So her chances to succeed will be 99 as she channels for 3 steps. No 6s, and she succeeded her test. As this happens, a shadow falls over everyone in this chamber in a burst template. And the smell of bitumen and the taste of tar lingers in the air. The 2 of you, who would be Eugene and Lilith, there is no resist for this. You are both maledicted. While you're maledicted, you will be injured on the face 4 or 6.
Oh boy.
And as this happens, for her final AP, she taps the staff on the ground and raises it in the air once again, and you hear this crackling sound as almost the air is kind of tearing with lightning, and then suddenly stepping forth from this rip in reality is this shadow thing that kind of whirls from up above in the ceiling and begins to form somewhere out in the darkness. Way out yonder. And as you turn around, Elisa, as you're right here, you can see this thing of black shadow and green smoke manifest in the distance in the cavern as if their shadow swarm has appeared.
Can she see it?
Yes, because she can see, although she doesn't have, although the light doesn't extend that far, it has its own light as it manifests.
Like a negative darkness.
That's right. It kind of like this kind of almost horizontal tear in the world just kind of tears, and it kind of comes forth like the tearing of like almost like the world zipper is being opened, and it just kind of manifests, and then there it is. And that is the end of the Demon Smith's turn. But that brings us to Elisa, who's apparently the only person who sees it, save for Terwin. But we'll get to that in just a few moments.
So, if I look at the light source as a weapon, it says that the distance is 15 plus perception bonus. Is that halved because of the distance?
The answer is it wouldn't be halved. The distance is 6 yards.
Okay.
Full stop.
Period. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
full stop.
That's
6
what I
yards
went
is your
earlier,
distance for everything in this dark in these shadows.
Okay. 3, 4, 5. So, we do step forward.
So you're a hustle forward. Just to clarify, what is your hustle?
I have an 8.
Okay,
Movement?
so let's clarify. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you're fine. I mean, you've obviously moved through squares that are not occupied by other objects. So where you're standing, you're between these 2 tall pillars, and you see that from your viewpoint, Tyrone, you can see a lantern kind of reaching through the darkness, but the darkness is trying to eat the light, almost like it's like trying to pull at the light's edge, like it's fraying the light, like unnaturally so, which is a bit unnerving. But where you stop, you're between these tall pillars, and directly in front of you is bits of fallen rubble, but almost from you to me, where we're at, right between us is this huge barrel of gunpowder, and you can see there are all these fuses wound around it and up into the walls and along the ceiling, along with cables that have been fastened into the ceiling of the mine. And to give you some perspective on what that means, the height of the mine is the same height as that soffit. It's very, very low.
Okay.
And this creature it's large. It's big.
How tall are the...
So they're like hunched over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they are not hunched over because they're not humanoid. They are comprised of shadow and smoke. But the Siaban are, remember, they're crooked backed as they walk through this place.
Oh,
So they kind of
you
walk
did say
gangly limb. But keep in mind, yeah. So just a quick clarification.
that. I'm ducking.
So you're face to face with a barrel of gunpowder. What do you do?
So I can see the shadow monster, though.
Absolutely,
to
you
attack
can.
it.
Yes,
All right.
you sure
so,
can, 'cause it's
I am
within
going
range.
to go ahead and use one of these and get an extra AP. I'm going to use the 2 to focus my light.
Okay, so take aim for 2 AP.
Take 2.
So to drop its damage threshold by 6, and then I'm going to attack it with my lantern.
Yes. So, quick point of clarification for where it is standing. It currently has medium cover.
That's fine.
So, if one of our rules mavens around the table would be so kind to clarify what medium cover is for us.
Plus 6 damage threshold to ranged attacks.
There you go. So, is your weapon ranged?
It's the lanterns, yes.
Yeah.
It
So
indicates.
So basically, you web of wash.
that's right.
And that's fine. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and
So
attack with my simple range.
We're right here to clarify. From here to here. So yeah. So make your test. Your test is going to be challenging because it does have cover.
Okay. So a 62 won't quite do it. I'm gonna go ahead and spin another one.
Okay, I'll take that. All right. Another misfortune.
33, however, will do it.
Crit success. Okay. Go ahead and roll damage, and I think what I'll do is I'll restore your fortune point pool.
Oh. I'm okay with that one.
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's go ahead and roll your damage.
So my damage is 3d10, so that's 4. 8, plus my perception bonus, which is a 9, so 17 damage.
Nice. It is not lightly, but it is moderately wounded by the light. And as you see this happen, Terrawin, you can see what's happening. As the light comes forward, the thing seems to almost like slowly ooze back and recoil from the light.
Okay.
As you can see, just the edge. You can see just the gloved hand of Elisa kind of lash toward with the lantern, holding it before, and the light seems to be driving it back as whatever arms it may have, it's kind of flailing outward.
Does it look at all like the thing we saw in the crypts below?
No, it looks exactly like what you saw on the island.
Okay.
It's the shadow monsters from the island.
The thing he didn't believe in.
Right, but I'm just trying
They're
to see.
not real.
I'm trying to see how he would react versus how Adam would react. I'm trying
Yeah.
to decide it right now. So
It's the thing that
Poorly.
killed
I'm
us.
going to think poorly because that's how we all reacted.
We really.
Since I think half of us died in that.
No, I was fine.
So that brings us to Eugene Thornberry.
All right.
Couldn't have
I'm
rolled
not
that.
scared of
I
you.
know, right?
I mouth words of hatred. They're illegible. And then I plunge at him with my stiletto.
Okay.
Trying to roll this.
And I'm going to aim it. Well, actually,
It's like
yeah, I'll
Logan,
aim
right?
for one.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attack him.
Okay. So you take aim and you lunge forward with your stiletto. Hey, guys. Please, thank you. Go ahead and go.
Yeah, aim for one, lunge for one. What's my difficulty?
It is going to be. Well, let's clarify something real quick. Who has light back here now?
Ooh, that's a good point.
So
I don't
Isn't
know
that
how
thing
far
on
over
fire
here.
back there?
The forge.
yeah,
It's the
so
forge.
that's right. So if we look back over here, there is a flame burning in the forge, and it seems to be spilling out of this iron grate across the floor. Mm-hmm. Like it's spreading across some viscous fluid that's been sputtering from the difference engine down here for quite some time. In fact, when you look at your feet, the ground is almost kind of like it seems to be almost kind of vibrating. Remember you heard the vibrations before, and you realize you can see kind of the oily kind of rainbow colors kind of on top of the water, and it smells of almost like kerosene or oil or something. So you lunge out for a routine test. So roll the attack. You're right here, obviously.
That gives me a 76, and I got a 59.
Nice. Well, as you proceed to do this, it is going to use a misfortune trait to try to parry.
That's right. My weapon is fast.
Okay, so it will be a 50% chance for it to parry. Roll 0-4.
Bummer day.
So it takes its stick and kind of knocks away your weapon.
Since I didn't succeed, I will lunge again.
All right. So that will be
standard?
now.
It was routine before.
It was routine before, but because you're not taking aim, it will be challenging.
Challenging. Okay. 56, 30 success.
Nice. Despite the fact that turned away the first blow, you managed to stick it with the pointy end.
5.
5.
5 points of damage.
Unfortunately, it is not enough to penetrate this long mantle that's wearing over its
I'll
shoulders.
spend a point to turn that into a 6.
Okay. All right.
So that's gonna be 6, 9.
You guys don't have. Do you have any of these?
Long since been. 13 points of damage.
13. Okay. So not only is the Siabran Demon Smith lightly wounded, she is moderately wounded.
Yeah, that was way worth it.
Way worse.
So, roll a d6 chaos.
2d6 because it's vicious.
Nice.
Ooh.
No 6s.
You want to turn one into 6?
No, not for this low level of injury. I get something really useless like bruised ribs.
Okay.
And then it's
As you step. Okay, so I will say something just to kind of give you a little bit of narrative clue here. As you in your turn's over, as you stab her, the Siabran Demon Smith, you feel the blood singes you as you withdraw your blade away, and you hear it go psst as it hits the ground.
Oof.
So that now brings us to Lilith.
All right.
Lilith, it is your turn.
Lilith will take aim for 1, and then do a called shot.
Okay. So Lilith is here.
The Siabran Bullwhip.
Oh, nice. So that's the one that will do. Well,
It's
does
Castle Forge.
Just Castle Forge.
Castle Forge. Okay. So remember, Castle Forge weapons add plus.
That's Maker's Mark.
That's Maker's Mark. That's right. Okay. So go ahead and roll a strike. It's routine.
Okay. 77% chance to succeed. And a 13 is a success.
Nice.
Nice.
She'll
That's
roll
good.
against a.
Is that a ranged weapon or a melee weapon?
It's a melee weapon.
Okay.
Yeah, whips are melee.
Are you going to attempt to
Chokehold.
Ooh. As you snap it around its neck, it grabs one end of it and quickly pulls it away as it avoids the chokehold.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Well, that's 3 action points. So nothing, I guess.
Okay. So that will bring us to the newly summoned Shadow Swarm. At this point, it is recoiling from the light and it turns about, so to speak. And of course, it sees Terwin. And as Terwin, as you are standing there, remind me what a burst template is. Is it 12? Is that right? 6 or 12? I can't remember. I don't have my templates in front of me. If you would, oh, here it is. Sorry. It's 6 yards in all directions.
Yeah.
That's right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what it does is it will hustle for 2 yards, and it stands somewhere between the threshold of both caverns, and you hear this sort of sound of the air being sucked out, the sound of the air kind of being pulled in, and then suddenly there's this blast of light everywhere, both toward Elisa and toward Terwin. And as this happens, it will attempt to strike you both. So it has a 55% chance of success. I rolled a 3%. So because it used its Shadow Strike, you cannot dodge or parry. You can only attempt to resist using toughness, as you feel your life force kind of being drawn from you, from your mouth. So Terwin and Elisa need to attempt to resist a toughness test. This test is challenging.
32% chance.
61.
14.
And 60 will succeed.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. So you both manage to resist the attack, and it will save. It will actually. I think what it's going to do, where it's at, it's kind of positioned near the stone, so it still gets the advantage of cover if it spends 1 AP. So it will take 1 AP to take cover, to take advantage of that again. That now brings us to Harper Clouger.
Okay. Harper is intrigued by this difference machine, so he is going to hustle on over to the wand, because that's the nearest part of it.
It is, yes.
And yeah, I remember them talking about, like, yeah, Sammy, how like those machines need a wand in order to work. So he wants to kind of take a look at it and see if he can somehow get this wand out, shut this machine down.
Yeah. Go ahead and make an athletics test. This test will be challenging because it's hard to pull out. It's fastened somehow into this pedestal.
All right. So with challenging, it's going to be a 52. I rolled an 83.
Oof.
So
Use a 14 point to reroll that.
I could, or I can just try again, or I can take my time. Because it did take me 1 AP or 2 AP to interact with this.
1 AP.
Okay. Then I'll spend my last AP to kind of like, I'm gonna start taking my time now, if that's possible, and then do it next turn.
You can do that.
Yeah.
And keep in mind that, as an example, if Banneker had an action point, you remember you can assist as a reaction to any test.
Yeah.
So you're within position here too. So as an example, if for some reason you wanted to react, if he had a higher initiative and you wanted to use a reaction, say, I want to help you, you can do that.
Okay.
If you have the action point banked, or if you want to use the fortune point for that matter. But that brings us to Terwin now.
Well, Tyrion doesn't quite understand what's going on, and when he doesn't understand things, he sometimes makes poor decisions. So he's
Attack for no reason?
yeah, he's he just was attacked by the darkness, and so he is going to I'm assuming like I am in the same state I was the session before last.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have any thing different. So I would have sword and shield in hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I would charge through the darkness and ground I cannot see in front of me, and charge towards the shadow demon to try and hurt it with a physical object.
So, low light conditions are treated as hard terrain, so you can't charge or run. So
Cool.
you'd have to hustle forward.
That's fine. Yeah, I can.
How
I'll
far
hustle
can you
forward. I can hustle for 6. Up in 6.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go any further?
Sure. Let's step one more forward.
Okay. You can see Terwin step into the light, Elisa, as he finally caught up to you, and he's there. What do you say as he swings?
It's not going to work. You need light.
Your weapon kind of passes effortlessly through it,
That's it.
like it was comprised of a dream or smoke.
Okay. Then.
Fight the demon behind the demon seeker behind us.
Then, upon hearing that, he's gonna go ahead and start moving further inwards
Okay.
for
So-
1 AP.
got it. So you could probably
Awesome.
move to here if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do that?
Well, no, she told me to go inside, so I'm gonna go inside.
Yeah. So that's
Pass through me.
okay.
Yeah.
So
You're out.
1, 2, 3. You want to continue onward here?
Yeah, I'll use my full movement. But I did not maneuver.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get to that in a
Okay,
moment.
right.
A moment here. So 4,
Crap, I didn't do that earlier.
5, 6.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, just however
Yeah.
I can get inside.
That will put you close to where some of the other rubble is at this point, which is good. So that now brings us to where you can see kind of around the corner. We have to obviously now that we have actual grids, it's kind of hard from your vantage point to see anything.
Yeah.
Because they are in a hard corner, but you can see kind of the backside of Warren from where you're at, and you can see that something's happening around there. You the player knows something's going. You the character knows something's going on. You the player know something's clearly going on behind there. Do you have any action points left?
No, I'll just, I can see these two, right?
That's right.
I'll say, where is it?
That way.
That way. I'll
Okay.
point my lantern that way, and I can barely reach the back of Warren.
Okay.
So,
That's why you can see Warren.
anything else you wish to do?
No, that's all my action points.
Okay.
Said
So,
I'm killing her over here.
I'll leave that just there.
And now, just to be honest, did it get an opportunity attack?
I probably should resolve that,
Yeah.
huh? So as you pass by through this creature, it does get an opportunity attack, and you can feel like something's pulling at your soul almost. As it's a 75% strike. I rolled a 59, so it hits. You can't obviously you.
Yeah, it's an
You can't.
opportunity.
Yeah,
opportunity attack, you can't-
that's right.
Parry or dodge.
So in return, unfortunately, this means that you suffer a total of 14 physical peril. As you pass through it, you feel like something's left behind. You remember what Elisa had explained, like whenever she had been nearly slain by these things, and she had the gray streak in her hair. You feel something just kind of pulled out of you, like some part of you just is now no longer there, and you manage to get around the corner. So now, at the end of the round, the fire begins to spread, as it is now here. You can see fire kind of pouring over the floor. Okay. It's rippling along the ground, and it seems to be traveling through this place. And you see the demon smith look toward it, and you see her mask kind of pull back, like she wasn't intending for this to happen, as the fire is spilled forth from this hellish-looking engine that looks like an Arkwright cauldron, but it's kind of whirring with these kind of gears and leather straps. It appears to be highly unstable as the fire is just spilled out of its cauldron. And it smells kind of like what happened when Sammy had first ignited the Arkwright cauldron. Like the thing is clearly out of control. The fire is spreading on the floor. And then now I need everybody to use initiative cards. Ooh, Lisa, look at that.
Couldn't roll a 10 on damage, but I could roll it on initiative.
For real.
I rolled a 3. For a total of 9.
Beat you.
Anybody else's rolls up here I can take?
Yeah, Adam's got mine. His over here.
Okay. So we're doing initiative cards real quick, because we are doing, of course, for those who are watching or those who are listening, we are using our iterative initiative now, where we actually do rounds of combat instead of instead of the turn by turn stuff. 11. Interesting. So,
yeah, I do like how Dan was like, "You might be able to help him if he goes before you." I was like, "Well, that's never going to happen."
Well, no, you can bank your.
So it brings us to the top of the round, which brings us to Elisa, who is, remember, once again, you are positioned by the gunpowder keg, and there is the rubble that's taking cover behind, and behind you, you see Terran just blast past you as quickly as possible through the darkness, stumbling here and there, managed to steal himself sliding into place as you move past a pool of water. And as you look at that pool of water, you smell the reek, and you look down toward it, it looks like kerosene. It looks like black oil, it looks like tar, it looks like something you can't quite put your finger on. But it smells volatile. The entire place, the stench is horrendous. Yes.
Would I be covered in that substance, considering I was laying down in front of that position with a Zalbrin in front of my chest?
Well, you were drugged through it, so probably your clothes are covered in the tar or whatever it may be.
Cool.
Yes, makes you more flammable.
Exactly.
Good.
Or makes you flammable.
I don't have a light source.
Makes you
so
flammable.
that's-
You
I
more
use that as a
flammable.
positive.
Demons are already flammable.
That's right.
I can be resilient from the
Flesh,
darkness.
clothes burn, by the way. So Elisa, it is obviously your turn. You kind of know where you're positioned right here.
So it is behind cover, correct?
It is. It's kind of pooling around that area, and it's kind of spilling off the walls. But it is behind cover. Yes.
From a mechanics perspective, if I was to move forward, would that remove its cover, or because it took an action to do so, does it keep its cover?
Well, I think that if you were to step, say, here or here, you would be able to address that. I think what we should consider when we talk about take cover, because remember, Zweihander was written from the perspective of abstracted combat,
Right.
and because that we are now kind of having a grid put in place, we should consider line of sight. So I think if you could get in a specific area where you could attack it, you could do that, like such as here. But that will pin you against the wall if you do that.
So you're using the lantern, right?
Yes.
So you have
So I
to
need
use...
range.
Hold on. Let her make the decision for a character.
Could I, however, move to here over the rubble and
Absolutely.
still be at range and...
You could, yeah.
Use it and okay.
So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a hustle.
Yep.
So we now kind of move back
Hustle.
So
do the
hustle
hustle.
for 1 AP.
Boop, 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 boop. We now move back to the battle cam, and we can see that you've kind of closed, you bridged the distance. You still have 1 yard between it and you,
Yep.
and because we're using line of sight in this case for a ranged weapon that has shrapnel, I think we could say that it's not going to get the advantage of cover. I think it's fair.
Then I will go ahead and shine my light at it again.
Just a standard, just a ranged attack.
Yes.
Okay. Your test will be
Actually, I'm gonna aim since I have an extra AP.
okay. It'll be routine.
Okay, so that puts me at a 72%. The 21 will hit.
Nice.
Sure that
Okay.
wasn't a 69?
As you do
I
that,
wish.
can you clarify its qualities real quick for the lantern?
It is shrapnel and slow.
Okay. So it is going to attempt to dodge, but it has a penalty, obviously. I'm going to use a misfortune point. So it would normally dodge at a 60, but your attack was routine, so it's a 50. And because it's a slow weapon, it moves it back to 60. So it has a 60% chance to evade.
Okay.
I need to just leave my dice where I'm at. You go ahead and put the fortune points back in this. I keep pulling those out, but I end up just rolling wherever I want to anyway. So 60% chance to succeed. And I rolled a 0-3.
Man,
Wow.
Your 10s die.
I know, my 10s dies on fire tonight. So
Either way,
as you shine the light, it manages to kind of disperse and kind of quickly reform back in this pillar of what looks like visceral-looking feathers of shadow and smoke as it dodges your attack.
Okay. And that's all my AP.
So that brings us to Banneker.
Well, Elise and I have been doing pretty good on this tandem work on these shadow things. I finally see the boss coming in to actually do some, his actual work. So range is my deal, so I'm going to move after the shadow monster.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you when we put out the fire.
What fire?
And I'll point.
And you can see this fire blazing across the room. And you look down at your feet and you realize the floor is also kind of, there's basically pools of this viscosity everywhere from where they've been walking and using the machine. In fact, you can see handprints all over it of this same viscous fluid as you're kind of trying to wrestle the thing out of the pedestal, Harper. Banneker, what are you doing? You're obviously right here.
I'll move through Harper for that's 3, right? I mean,
Well, yeah, you don't. Does it cost any additional action points to move through your friends? Good question. It's been a very long time since we used figures.
We haven't used figures in a while. I just want to make sure I'm doing this right.
Yep.
So move through him, and I'm just going to move over here. I have a 9.
You want to move
So
over
as
to
long as
here?
I'm in range. No, that's fine. I
Like over here, like this.
make sure that I'm within range.
So
How
you
many-
you are here.
2, 3, 4,
yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8. That's that's all I got.
Okay. And what do you want to do now?
Aim for well, hold on. Can I stand on that wall?
You need 2 AP to get on top of it.
Okay, so how many were we at again? There's 1.
Here, we'll spin it around toward you here.
That one's 2, right?
Yeah, so you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 8. There's no other way to take advantage of movement, unfortunately, from where you're at, unless you spent more action points to stand up on top of it. If you did, I will say, if you stood on top of it, you'll be able to break its cover.
Well, then I will go ahead and use my other action to move the 2 on top of the wall.
Okay.
Another hustle up there?
So, you come up on top
I
of
will
it.
use a ranged attack to snuck by you.
She's not down here, is she?
No, she's not.
So
We're just here to struggle.
yeah, we'll
She's
put you.
trying.
We'll put you up on here. I'll get a little sticky thing. So you're going to use your ranged attack.
Yes.
You've got the good thing is that you actually have height. Well, I would say height advantage would normally be beneficial, but in a situation like this where height is more of it's not really doesn't really give anybody benefit just because of the how low the ceilings are. You won't get any additional benefit, but it'll just be a standard attack.
Okay.
I think if he held it in his offhand, it would give him +1 damage.
That's good. It's the quality.
Clever. I'll pull my dagger out in my offhand.
So you're right here, and you're
pull
shining your
the dagger
lantern toward it. That's right. That's right.
Mid next.
You're reflecting light
my
with your
dagger.
That's right. Check us out. It's smart.
75. Roll an 80.
Oh, he's got this man.
And a 56 will hit.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah. 12 and 9. 21 points.
Nice.
Good, solid.
And one of those was a 1 and one of those was a 2.
Jeez.
Yeah.
How much damage did you do again? I'm sorry.
21.
Okay.
You guys in your
I finally have perception. There's something that I do well. We both do this really well.
We kill demons.
Once again, as Banneker, as you shine your lantern toward this thing, and it is slain, describe to us what happens.
Hell yeah.
Melt this time?
You know what? Maybe we do something different this time. Maybe it breaks into pixels this time.
It starts to pixelate. And little
Flashes red,
flashes
and then
of
it
lights.
pixelates.
And then it just fizzles away.
I thought it was gonna
Like Tron.
It
Trons!
You just de-resed it. It's like the old Tron game.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of
Tron.
coins drop. Yeah.
The thing has been de-resed as you banish the Shadow Swarm once again. And that, I believe, brings us to...
Can I yell one thing?
Absolutely.
Harper, I'll get the fire!
The Shadow Swarm is clearly not here, so
playing with the thing.
I will remove the Shadow Swarm from the initiative because
Another one's forward.
it is not here.
Okay.
It is gone, which now brings us to Lilith. Lilith, what will you do?
Lilith will.
Obviously, you're over here.
She will drop the bullwhip and just grab the Demon Smith.
Yeah.
And then she wants to chuck him into the fire.
Okay. So,
He just left her.
so you want to attempt to grab her?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So you drop. She throws the whip to the ground, and she reaches out toward the circle. What happened last time when you stepped in the circle?
I never stepped in the circle.
Yeah, you did.
I seem to recall that, in fact, you did step into the circle, and just for a moment, remember what you saw as Warren went to go fetch the key inside the circle. Let's cut away for just a mere moment, and I want you to narrate for us what Lilith sees as she steps into the circle to grab her, or reaches into the circle in this case. What does Lilith see when
So
she
this
reaches
is like
into
the circle from
The
The
island.
island.
The smell of the reek is strong. These shadow creatures are clearly the same that your friends had seen when you were thrown into the darkness. What happens when you reach into the circle?
Well, it's like this. It's like a horrible tableau of everyone that has died from the reek. Just mountains of bodies, and Warren and Lilith really see like the gravity of the situation. This is pure evil. This person definitely needs to be taken out. It's like this awful, like hellish dimension or something like that. It's just a horrible, horrible scene.
So I'll probably intervene at this point and say that Lilith will not have the same reaction as Warren does.
Mm-hmm.
But this gives an opportunity for Warren to seize control from Lilith, and I am going to force you to attempt to do that. Okay. So I need you to make a routine resolve test to take back control of yourself from Lilith.
Okay. So that's going to be a...
And he can hear his name.
73% chance to succeed. And 95 does not succeed.
Not get that control.
So Lilith retains control of Warren's body, and you gain a permanent chaos rank.
Oh snap!
As Lilith
Excellent.
is inching closer to control Warren, heart, body, and mind. You can use your marker on that if you wish.
Mm-hmm.
You reach forward toward the Siabran, Lilith, and your test is routine.
Okay.
So this is athletics.
It is, yes.
Okay.
70% chance to succeed. And 58 succeeds.
Okay. You grab a hold of the Siabran, and she must resist, the demon smith must resist to escape, and she is willowy and small. So her chances are not so hot. In fact, they're going to be 35%. 91. You grab a hold of Lilith at this point, so that's one action point.
Mm-hmm.
What do you wish to do?
So from where I'm standing, I don't really have a clear path to the fire. So
You don't, but you can drag her that
Yes,
way
that's
by
what I'm-
spending 2 action points.
I'll do that.
Okay. What is your movement?
My movement is 9.
Okay, so this is treated as hard terrain when you're dragging somebody. So Warren Lilly grabs her and pulls her out of the circle.
Actually, it's 10. Sorry.
10?
Yeah.
Okay, you pull her out of the circle, and you want to pull her toward the fire,
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming.
Yep.
So she's out of the circle. Now, keep in mind, you've already made your attack this turn,
Mm-hmm.
so you can't make another attack, meaning you can't throw her into it the same turn. But you have her right next to the fire, both you and her, unless you want to throw yourself into the flames as well.
No. That's silly.
That doesn't make sense at
It
all.
doesn't make sense at all.
No, I mean that you would resist
I-
that. She tried
I
to
would-
make us all
I would
worse
like
for
to
the
note-
rest of our lives.
I would like to note that as Lilith grows closer to the fire, it is soothing as the warm sun on your face on a cold autumn day.
All right then, burn in hell, you bitch, and it just land like
Okay.
just put her on top of it.
Okay.
Just hold her down.
Suplex
into it.
City.
Yeah.
The two of them throw themselves into the fire, and oh boy, did Lilith misunderstand the narrative cube, or just say Lilith didn't put this in consideration, because as Lilith lives for the flames, Warren does not. As Warren is on fire, and you note, if you remember, that the Siabran Demon Smith, when she was walking, her boots smoldered.
Right.
And the stick she's holding, this fetid hell stick, appears to be not made of petrified wood, but of rock hard, sharp obsidian. And as you throw her into the flames, she kind of recoils from the smoke as she is clearly coughing, but she's not harmed by the fire. But Warren is.
Okay.
So, you're going to suffer fire. You're going to suffer. First off, you're going to suffer damage.
Mhm.
Armor notwithstanding, remember. So that is 14 damage.
Okay.
And now, so you're in the fire at this point. You're not caught on fire yet, though. We'll see what happens in a minute.
Okay. Lightly wounded.
Okay. So Terwin, it is your turn.
Okay.
I'll spin it back around toward you. So Warren is here, and you can see that the flames have begun to spread, and Warren grabs the Siabran and literally throws himself and the Siabran into the fire. But the Siabran clearly is not harmed, but Warren is burning.
So I can move over this rubble for 2 movement
That's right.
points. Okay. So I'd like to move over I'm going to hustle.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
And then that's one hustle. The second
right.
hustle is going to move 1.
7. Here. Okay. 8,
2, 3.
9, 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so 10. Okay, you got it.
That's
Makes
2
sense.
hustles.
Yep. So you see Terwin closes the distance very, very quickly, and as you come here, we should probably technically they're on the here. Let's do this. because I think we need to indicate that they're actually in the flames.
Mhm.
So let's just do this for now. We'll assume that's all fire where they're
Right.
standing. So that means you could feel the heat as you kind of come face to face, and you can see Terwin's eyes just like they're glazed over as you're
Yeah.
face to face with literally the family curse.
Mm-hmm.
Come join me, Forrester.
I'll join you soon enough.
What will you do?
Angry that the fire is being denied, Terwin will strike out towards the person who seems to be at home in the fire.
Yeah, she has these long kind of features, and she's wearing this mantle over her shoulders that looks like it's made of snake skin, like almost like a duster that kind of gathers around her neck with a hood. And she has these long kind of bare legs, otherwise not like bare, but like bare clothing.
Yeah.
And she's not wearing any sort of boots. In fact, her toe, she has human-like toes. It looks like a person who's just like in a carnival and stretched to strange proportions.
Would she be technically on the ground?
No, she's not. She is not.
Tried. I tried. You cannot win. You cannot win with your throwing today.
What would you like to do?
Just perform a melee attack. He will take the sword and he will make a sideways motion in the neck area
Okay,
to see if he strikes.
you bet. Okay, go ahead and roll to strike. Because you were striking somebody in the middle of a fire and you're face to face with the heat and the smoke in your throat, it's going to be a challenging test.
Okay. Fortunately, I have this focused and bladed, so I'm not doing anything with peril. I get my full.
Nice.
So-
Focuses are important.
Yes, focuses are super important. So challenging will be 60%,
Okay, roll to strike.
and I roll a 100.
Oh, Oathkeeper, using that to avoid the critical failure.
You can
So it's
reroll
just
now.
No.
a standard
No,
failure.
It's a standard failure, but I could use a fortune point to reroll.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and use that fortune point.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll take that misfortune point. I now have 2 misfortune points. We have 3 fortune points remaining.
There's me, starting off the night with a crit failure.
Alright, so we're right here.
And a 67 won't do it.
Oh! 2 away.
Terwin swings once, it does not connect, and tries once again, and unfortunately the blade does not touch the Siabran, who is standing amid the fire that continues to burn. Eugene Thornberry, it is your turn.
Do I have the line of sight / to be able to charge that Siabran?
Great question. The answer is, yeah, you need to move at least 3 yards to charge.
Uh-huh.
So you can do that.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm gonna charge it.
Okay.
And I believe I have my speech back now.
You do.
I'm gonna shout, "Terwin's here! We're saved!"
As he rushes in as Eugene rushes in with his rapier, the stiletto, the stick has reach as it's standing amid the flames. Before you can meet it, it makes an opportunity attack.
Sorry.
Its chances to strike are 70. 07. Wow.
Okay, with my professional trait, I would like to parry for him.
Okay. You are unfortunately
Not engaged with him.
Yeah. So this
Uh,
is once again, just to clarify, this is once again where we have to start looking at the way grids are set up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard corner, and you're not engaged with him, unfortunately, so you can't do that.
Well, I am engaged, but it's a hard corner.
That's
it's
right.
yeah.
That's the, you can, it just yeah. So
Also,
this is
with reach, I think it technically provokes before I'm even
Oh,
close.
that's
even-
right.
yeah, okay.
That's right. So you're hit, and as you come in,
It's gonna shatter.
so it's 2d6 because it is large.
You used to have an E.
And oh god. Yeah, so it's gonna do damage. It's gonna do
God, I hope those aren't my last words. Shitty words. Terwin's here, we're saved.
plus 17 damage. And as the stick strikes Eugene, you hear this sort of sound as you see the air kind of like ripple outward as you need to resist using athletics.
What's the difficulty?
It's going to be hard.
Oh. Fail.
You just as the weapon is disarmed upon contact.
Okay.
As you see this stick swing the ground once again, and it slowly strikes him, and the weapon imagine hitting a telephone pole as hard as you can with a baseball bat. You can't help but drop it as it falls just outside of easy reach. So do you want to make an attack with your hands?
Well, first, I'm seriously wounded, so you're gonna have to roll me some
Oh,
injury.
you're seriously wounded?
Yeah, and don't forget, you also injure me on 4+.
Was it 4 plus or 4 5?
It's 4 6.
4 and 6.
You're
4 and 6?
So
Or I thought it was 4,
4,
5,
5, and 6.
Oh.
That's
So
4+.
moderately, seriously.
Oh.
Oof.
4 and 6. I thought
No,
that was
4+.
I need to double check something here on a spell. Okay.
It spells DEAD.
I roll a 4 and a 5. So it does not do an injury.
Hang on.
However, the power of the stick takes him off of his feet prone. Oof.
Well, that doesn't bother me.
Why's that?
Because I have handspring. So I hit the ground and kept right back up.
For 1 AP?
0.
0.
0.
0 AP.
So you see, cartwheels to his feet.
Charge momentum is now ruined, I take it.
Probably so.
Because
I think so. Yeah.
It's fine. I'm still gonna punch. I'm gonna punch.
Okay. Good. So you're fighting somebody with a magical stick, if you will.
Uh-huh.
The Hellworker's stick, we're gonna call it. This is what it
Hell
is.
of a sequence.
And with your mailed gloves, you kind of come forward.
I'm a librarian, sir.
The
Lily
li-
hands.
Lily hands.
Softer than boiled
Okay.
cabbage.
That's
Are you
right.
trying to do light damage with how white you are?
Yeah, I am. Just, can I focus?
Your test, because this all happens very quickly, I'm going to kind of safely assume this is probably a challenging test,
That's fair.
unfortunately.
Simple melee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, simple melee.
2. Success.
Oh!
So
Nice.
successful.
I'll give you a hand for that.
And there's this kind of thin hand that goes crack, more like a slap than a punch, until he follows it back up with an uppercut beneath the mask.
Yeah.
Deal damage.
Eat it. I'm gonna turn it into a 6 with a point.
Nice.
It's
Okay.
3, but
Oh, come on.
forget that garbage.
Come on.
We need damage, friend. So I'll turn it into a 6. 14 points of damage.
Wow.
Hey, I charged, got knocked prone,
So,
and disarmed, got back up.
It's not lightly. She's not moderately. But she is seriously wounded. Roll 2d6.
If I had my stiletto, it'd be Cretus. Or it'd be 3d6. I got nothing.
Get some fortune points left there if you want to turn it into a phase 6.
Not with my fist.
Okay.
So lame.
Alright, so your turn's over. And
Um,
now it is my turn. So, the Siabran Demon Smith at this point will turn toward both Lilith and toward Eugene. And with the stick in one hand, you see this brass bell procured from its waist. Tong, tong, tong. And as every strike of the hammer, there's this kind of like boom, 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 this like a movement in the air around it. I was going to attempt to cast the Inverted Doom. This test is going to be probably hard. So I'm going to have the Siabran Demon Smith channel for 3 steps again. So that will make it
If Doom is
30.
upside down, it's
it'll be
wood.
60% chance to succeed. So 60% chance.
Right, you'll roll an O
0-6.
What?
And I think that we may have a cast manifestation with Cruel Tutelage, as it invoked channeled power with a lesser magic spell. However, as this spell happens with the Inverted Doom, those who are caught in a cone template, which means you two need to resist with a challenging, challenging athletics test.
It's nice knowing you. Dibs on his gear.
I mean, I've got a shield.
Critical fail 100.
Oh my
Oh
god.
man. Do you have any of
I
these?
got a 70.
No, I still don't have any.
Did you fail too?
Shut up, pacifist.
So, as this happens, unfortunately, this is not good.
What?
As the brass bell strikes, suddenly they are pinballed off the wall and the ceiling, go bouncing, bam, 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 thrown against each wall, the ceiling, the floor, through the other room for a number of yards equal to 2d10 plus willpower bonus. As the world turns upside down, I'll tell you exactly how many times it turns upside down. 9, 10, 11, 11 plus 9. So 20 times the world is turned, and you suffer 20 plus 25 falling damage. And your armor does count toward this for falling. So you all are thrown 20 yards. So we'll go. We're just gonna make. We're gonna. Unfortunately, we're gonna kind of make this up a little bit. So we're gonna play with some figures. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Bye, Eugene. Bye, Eugene.
We'll put you right here.
Does that take into the account my critical fail?
1, 2, 3, 4. We get to that amount. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oof. As this happens and you critically fail, it gives it an action point to use immediately, which it will proceed to disengage with Terwin. And it has no action points left because it channeled and cast a lesser magic spell. But I do have this beautiful fortune point that I can use, misfortune point I can use to move it back into the circle.
Maneuvers.
And
Disengages too.
disengages too. That's right. Sorry, my apologies. So we'll spend those 2 misfortune points.
Cast magic lessers.
So
too,
to clarify, so it gained a free action point so it's going to use a misfortune point to disengage. So it has 2 AP there, and then use the other fortune point to actually hustle over. Now its turn is over. It's finished. So that brings us to before heartburn. The fire proceeds to spread right in front of you where you're at, Terwin. The fire is growing. Harper, it's your turn.
Harper remembers mention of a owner's manual, so as part of his taking his time, he's going to read that.
How do I do this again? Okay, so the good thing is that you have the benefit of taking your time.
Yep.
And if you want to go ahead and do that now, I think you should only have, this is basically is the rest of your action points at this point. That now makes it routine.
Alright, and it was athletics before, right?
Yes.
Alright, 62. 19, success.
Okay. As he pulls free this, it looks like an ivory wand about the length of a forearm, but you see it's rigid in some places, taking hard 90-degree turns, and seems to almost form like this kind of strange-looking forked key that kind of wraps over itself back and forth, almost like a, what they call it, like what's the staff of a
Caduceus?
Yeah, the staff, but it's like at hard right angles. It's you procure it forth from there, and just across the way you can see this basin. Unfortunately, I don't have a basin over here, but you see this basin where there's this green stone that's literally almost, it's seething and boiling in the water. It looks like a holy water font right here. So we will move this from the battle map now, because you do so. Put down the ivory wand on your character sheet.
Yeah, I think I would have one more because I spent 1 from last round, and 3 usually is what it takes.
That may
so I
be
got
true.
1 last.
Yeah.
So then I'll hustle over to I'll go
Over to the
over to
here.
the other one, to the seething one.
What's your movement?
10.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here is fine. Is
Yeah.
that okay. Okay. Cool. You're right beside it. So you're right beside the seething stone in the boiling water. So that now brings us to initiative for everybody. So we'll collect cards, please. So quick heads up, we've got 2 fortune points and 1 misfortune point remaining. Banneker, of course, 28, not surprising.
Mid-max, break the rules.
Nothing wrong with breaking rules. Play the game to win.
That's right.
Anybody else got any initiative action here that I need to put up? No? Okay. Banneker, you see Tyrone being thrown through the air. By the way, what damage condition did either of you land at?
Oh, I'm slain.
What?
Slain.
25 damage?
I was slightly when we started.
Mm-hmm.
The hit as I got disarmed put me at seriously, and throwing me across the room put me at slain, and I have 0 fate points.
Whoa.
Yep.
Oof. Eugene lies dying
Yeah,
behind you. Harper. Gasping for air on death's door.
Yeah, I think Harper was just so like zoned in that he didn't even like realize it.
I just don't think you've realized I'm not getting up.
Yeah.
Like, you've seen me, like, get mauled by a
Yeah,
boar.
or-
You saw me got, put down, like, almost immolated in the spot by a giant cone of fire. You're like, he's a tough kid. He'll make it out.
Yeah.
Lorenites are hard to kill. They won't leave me alone.
That's right.
I don't even think Warriors can die.
Yeah.
So let's intervene for a moment, and let's say that if you wish to save Eugene, and it has to be somebody who has maybe a love-hate relationship with an Aloranite.
Like, I guess I would try to save him. So I think as I start to move towards the seething stone, I realize that he's not moving, and go, okay, I have to help him, and then instead hustle over to Eugene.
So we're going to take just a moment to really talk about what happens in the darkness, because this is going to require an expenditure of a fate point from you, knowing that you have been that the martyr is talking to you. What do we see as you are near Eugene? Like, what do we hear? What do we see? What are you doing?
I think what you would see is like Harper would obviously like kind of get on his knees and like try to like assess, because I mean he does.
Am I like dead right now, or am I like dying? Like, this is my last gasp.
You're dead.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, I think what he would do is he would essentially try to like lay on hands, like put his hands on the chest of Eugene and start praying to the martyr that that this man is a good man, that even though he isn't a Loranite, he does that shouldn't really be held against him, because he's proven himself like over and over again to be like one that would stand up for the right side.
Mm-hmm.
And I do feel like this man could be an example of what a good Loranite could be.
Could be. He's still
Not
a
even-
Loranite.
not
He's
even
still a
there.
Loranite.
He's still an Loranite,
Not even
but I feel like
dying.
I love how good.
I feel like he could be like how a Lauren could be, perhaps.
Maybe.
So, even if the
This is Mike's moment, please.
yeah. So perhaps a bit of prayer to the martyr and to a Lauren to see if they would, on behalf, of those two gods, bring him back.
That's good. So it is going to require fate point
Yeah,
to attempt to do this.
I'll do it.
And it is an attempt. The question is, how many of your order ranks will you also sacrifice?
All three.
All three?
Yeah.
Okay, that will make your test trivial heal.
All right. So let's hope this doesn't happen like Radiator, where I always critically fail on him.
I have personal bad luck to get healed.
Yes, you do. All right. So
So
that is a 79. And that is really cracked. But that is a 7. That's a 37. Success.
As you lay on, so what happens as you lay on hands? What do you see, and what does Eugene see as his eyes begin to flutter open?
I would think that like Harper really does feel the connection to the martyr at this point. In which case, I'm going to go ahead and spend the 100 or the level up that I've been waiting on to get incantation, and then I automatically get those spells, but I won't spend. But so Harper would feel Yeah, this, and then I think he just feels like that the life force almost draining out of him and into Eugene.
Can I do what I would see?
Yeah, I mean, what?
Yeah, absolutely. So Eugene, you were thrown through the darkness, and there's a moment where you're flying through the air and you realize this is the end. Like, what is going through Eugene's mind in this moment as he's walking toward the doors of the well?
He's glancing off parts of this cavern when things go dark, and he hits the ground. And like his last thoughts are like, "This is it. Hexencern sent me here, and I'm gonna die here. Like, should I have really followed orders this blindly?" And then he's like, his eyes flutter, and it's not the cavern he sees at first. It's this cold, ashen waste that he thinks at first is snow, and he realizes it's ash, and it's this like. He sees the pillars behind him, and he mistakes it for the windmill back at Stowe. And he looks up, and he sees what he assumes at first is this blood crimson woman of the statue he stole. And then, like, his vision starts to clear more and more and more, and he sees it's Harper. And he's realizing, like, all these things he holds true are all being proved rapidly wrong. Like, I'm being sent here to die. The shadow creatures exist. Harper is a pacifist, and he was once the greatest killer I've seen. And then, like, all these things are just boom, 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 fail. And he's just, like, trying to come to grips and laying around on the ground, and he's just, like, he doesn't know what to do.
God damn it, don't you leave on me.
So as you're pulled forth from the ashen landscape, and you feel this wetness on your back of blood as you're restored to your damage condition track. You're moved 3 steps up because he sacrificed 3 order rates for this.
Okay.
As you feel this warmth fill your body and your bones.
Okay.
As he pulls you to your feet.
I'm just gonna I don't even say anything. I just look at Harper's eyes, and he's like, "Still got my hand." And I just slowly nod to him.
So we'll assume that only Harper and Eugene have this moment. Nobody else knows this is happening. As we turn back to now, we need to turn to Warren. Warren, what was your damage condition track after you fell?
Seriously wounded.
Okay. So we need to roll 2d6 chaos dice, please.
It was a spell. Does it do an injury?
You fell.
Falling
damage.
Okay. Nope.
Okay. So you are thrown to the ground some number of yards back. As you look around, you can see Banneker kind of duck as you're thrown through the air, and you skid across the ground, slamming up against this pillar where you're at. Banneker, you can see that Warren's literally lying on the ground no more than a few yards in front of you, right beside Elisa. Right here, and you're here. What are you gonna do? It's your turn.
Well, there's nothing here to kill. Warren, are you alive?
She nods.
Lilith nods or Warren nods?
Warren does.
All right. Is it back in there still?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going in. So I will hustle in. And
What's your movement?
9.
Okay. What I'll do is since you guys can't reach this very well, I'll just maximize your movement.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
just makes us so much easier.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
And as you get here, you can't quite see inside, but that's the end of your first hustle. You're on top of the rebel. But you know she's in there, and you can see Terwin, and the flames are framing him almost like some great portrait of a burning saint. As he's not recoiling from the flames, he kind of turns around, his eyes wide and glassy. You can see it beneath the visor of his helmet. You can see that 1,000-yard stare looking right through you. So you've made 1 hustle so far.
Then I'll make the other hustle. I didn't draw my sword at the beginning, so...
Yeah, so, remember, we gave some freebies in that last few couple combats, so we'll put that rule in place just to keep it in mind. So you want to come and engage with it?
Well, no, I can't draw my sword, right?
That's right. Well, you can. I mean, you've only spent 1 action point so far to hustle. You've only moved 9 yards.
But it'd be an action point to draw my sword.
Yep, that's right. And you've only got your lantern in hand. You want to stay there? Do you want to continue moving? You want to hold your AP?
Guess I could drop and knock, but it still wouldn't help. No, how many of those are left? 2 of those are left?
Yeah, 2 fortune points, 1 misfortune.
Guess we're going to have to really put out this fire. Alright, I'm going to pull my sword and move up.
Okay. Alright, you want to just close the distance then?
Yep.
Okay. You draw your weapon and you close the distance. Lantern in one hand, and what sword do you have in the other?
I have a hunting sword.
Nice. You draw the hunting sword.
Drop the lantern right where I'm at, and
okay.
Where there's
lantern
light here
beside you. Boop. There we go.
And I will use that extra to attack.
Cool. So you're right here, and you are going to strike out at the Siabran Demon Smith, who's now standing in the circle once again.
We need this thing to die.
Your test is going to be routine, because it's large.
Okay.
She is large. She's big.
That is a 75% chance, and that is a 16.
Nice.
Guess when we pull it up.
Go ahead and roll damage.
6. No. Come on, guys. You guys want me to do it again? Want me to take that last one? Table talk here.
We should probably keep that last one.
Then that is 10 points of damage.
Nice. She is now, moderately, seriously.
We have 4 in
there. Yeah, so I actually miscalculated. She is grievously wounded.
You do have 4 on there.
Yeah, she's grievously wounded. So, that's right. I didn't recognize it. Moderately, seriously, grievously. And with the final blow,
you killed like everything.
Slash! You bring the weapon down to bear, and as opposed to how do you narrate? We're actually going to roll percentiles.
Roll?
Yeah,
yes.
roll.
I haven't got to do that yet.
Roll for this.
Big money. 61.
61.
So close to a 69.
All right. So here is what unfolds as your weapon tears into the Siabran Demon Smith. What was the roll again? I'm sorry.
61.
Okay. Your weapon drives through the Siabran's shoulder and carries on into the chest cavity. In shock, they slide slowly off your blade onto the ground, an ever-winding pool of blood, where they remain twitching until inevitable death. And as the blood spatters everywhere, its demonic gift takes effect. You must resist with coordination as the blood burns like fire. It is going to be a hard test for you, unfortunately. It should be hard.
6. Guys, look at that.
Oh, wow.
26 on the nose.
You hear this hissing and spattering as its blood is hot. It burns like flames. As you can feel the heat behind you, and Terwin is nearby, and you can hear the groaning of Warren somewhere nearby, and you look around and you see that Harper brings Eugene up to his feet, and there's this moment between them where they kind of lock arms and give a slow nod toward one another, and we will take a quick break as combat is over. Every roll of 69 is a critical success, and welcome back to Colors. So, as the Siabran is dispatched by Banneker's blade, the woman falls to the ground, tumbling, and the fire in the hearth is slowly spreading across this viscosity across the floor of the cavern, around the pillars. You see that Gwydion, my apologies. Terwin is inching back further and further, holding the shield in front of him as to not be burnt. And the stench of the reek is readily apparent in this place. It's overwhelming. And that's when you hear something deeper within the cavern. You hear this muffled ba-boom. And then there's this sound of the ceiling starts shaking and shambling as rock and dust falls to the ground. And you can see little flames, like burning snakes, all along the ceiling and the walls. It's between the crevasses and those little iron rings that were hammered into the wall. All the fuses are lit at once and burning and snaking out everywhere.
Run! Run for the chopper!
You pull him to his feet,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see still the difference engine is still running.
Yeah.
And there's this basin of water, like a holy water basin, and it's boiling and bubbling.
Yeah. I'm gonna nod at Eugene and be like, "Come on, help me figure this thing out.
Yes, of course.
We still
Bits-
got work to do."
Bits of dust and rock fall over
Yeah.
your head. You all collect together very quickly in front of the difference engine.
We need to run.
Where?
Where?
What are you doing?
I'm looking at this machine trying to shut it off.
We gotta figure out what it does. What was it to analyze what it does?
Well, no single skill would be able to deduce that in the amount of time that you have before this place collapses.
I mean, like to remove the sphere.
Oh,
Yes.
so, well, there is as I described, there's a basin of water, like a holy water font. And there's water sitting in it. And in the center of the water is this smooth green stone. And it's burbling in the water, like it's boiling, like a pot full of water boiling. It's a stone centered right in the middle of the water on the pedestal beside it.
Can I attempt to figure out what that stone is?
Harper's just thinking, if we don't have the time, he's just gonna grab his backpack and just like scoop it in.
So you're empty everything out of your backpack?
Yeah, so like
In
dump in the
haste.
backpack and then just like scoop it.
So just to be clear for a moment, Elisa, you're looking at the stone, and it looks, well, you don't need to make a skill test for this. It's hot. It's boiling hot. It's seething in the water, just like the saltpeterman described. He's talking about the seed stone and the ivory wand, and you can see in one of in one of Harper's hands is this crooked-looking ivory key, and as he pulls the stone out, like it seems to match some diagram you recall seeing in the Levinci house that showed, like, it's called a seed stone, and the seed stone had some sort of process to alchemize it. Unfortunately, that is all contained in the original works that were taken from the Levinci house, which I believe you have.
I do.
So you wouldn't be able to recount, you don't really know what the process to alchemize it right now in the moment, but you know you have it in the book. So whatever the process is produce the seeding stone. So what I'd like for you to do is mark up all your trappings.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna write off everything that was in that bag. So you see like a red cat mushroom, a laudanum, a tincture, any food that he's had,
Everything.
his tobacco, his smelling salts. He doesn't have a powder flask anymore.
Is the intention for you to kind of shuffle through what's down here, or do you want to attempt to find a way out?
Out. I mean, should we go up to that spare room? There was a hidden door.
Yeah, hidden door there.
Where the
What my
children
thought
were.
is.
Well, I guess we know the way we're going now.
I mean, I don't know if that's the right way, but the fuses are lit.
I don't know that it matters at this point. We pick a way and we go.
So we need to shut this thing down before we go.
Fuck this thing. I want to live.
This thing's going to go one way or the other. Out is more prevalent right now.
But this gunpowder, these mines, they could reach under the city.
What city? We're not under the city.
Well, we're not that far.
We're really far. We're in the goddamn salt flats.
Alright.
I'm moving towards the elevator. I don't care. I want to live. I don't give a shit about this thing. I'm running to the elevator.
I'll start moving towards the elevator. I'm going to turn back to Harper before I fully leave and go. What did you do with Bruno?
Oh, I left him with his buddy
Where are they?
upstairs.
Run to the elevator.
Yeah, I'll follow.
I mean,
Let's go back upstairs.
wrong.
Wait,
different. I'm
grab
choosing.
her staff, run to the elevator.
Ah! Okay, so put Hellworker stick on your character sheet. It has an encumbrance value of 3.
Okay.
You grab the stick, and you can hear these explosions as you're rushing through the inky black darkness. And you hear this ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. The sounds of this place is collapsing.
Does it sound like it's coming from below or above, or can
It's
we tell?
kind of hard to
Or is it
tell.
cacophonous and we just can't tell. Shit.
But this will actually
That puts me at
provoke
max. Alright.
a chase scene.
Alright.
You know what's good. Good at this. Good at this.
We will need the Game Master Folio to track everything.
Just Banneker.
Well, you're doing all right.
Yeah, I'm not terrible anymore.
Okay. First, Terwin, what is your brawn bonus?
11.
Oh wait, that's right. This has changed.
Harper, brawn bonus.
God, I forgot.
Oh man, it's 5.
Elisa,
3.
Oh, so we're like,
Warren or Lilith?
It's Warren,
Okay.
and it's 11.
oh Jesus.
Banneker,
Brawn is 3.
Is it now?
Oh, yeah, my brawn's terrible.
Eugene.
6.
We have
Nice.
a -1 because of our
All right. You quickly come to
genetics.
the left. You it begins to slowly lift, carrying you upward. You all need to roll 1d10 and add your perception bonus. We'll go first with Tara and tell me your value.
Oh, oh.
11.
Okay. Harper.
It was a D10 plus my, what was it?
Perception.
A
No,
perception?
sorry, not perception. Agility. Sorry.
Oh, agility.
Oh, I have an 8 now.
Damn.
8. Okay. Lisa.
14.
Warren.
11.
Banneker.
10.
Eugene.
13.
What was I get?
Okay.
If it's agility, I had 9.
Okay. As you're going up the lift, by the way, this is a long chase scene, 9 rounds. Rubble is falling all over around you as rocks going to drop, clank, bunk, brack, as they're striking the wood as it's coming up, and you see, Harper, that you are kind of caught unawares. Go ahead and make an agility test to dodge, make a coordination test to dodge a dropping rock. This test will be routine.
All right, 60. 46 success.
Okay. Clunk! It breaks into 2. The stone is still seething in your backpack as you sling it over your back, and the water is kind of seeping through. It's waterproof. I think it's not seeping through.
Okay.
It's inside there with the wood. That you feel the stone's
Yeah.
weight in there. All right. Okay. The lift comes to a stop. Clud. You disembark and begin running through the tunnels. Terwin, roll again. D10.
Ooh, I got a 13.
Okay. Harper, what'd you get?
11.
Okay. What about yourself, Bandit? Lisa?
9.
Warren?
10.
Banneker?
11.
Eugene?
14.
Wow.
Nice.
You all begin barreling through. Harper just at some number of yards behind you as he's shuffling through the darkness as you have... Who dropped their lamp down below?
Banneker.
Banneker.
But he's got the lantern. He's got
I
the
got a
lamp, and she's got a
I took my
lantern.
lantern.
Right.
Yeah, I have a
I have an
lantern.
extra lantern in my bag.
Yeah, I have a lantern.
It's alright.
And a
I never
lantern shield.
That's right. So you have light, which is good, but poor Harper, the rocks are falling all around you. Roll another a coordination test. This test is going to be standard this time.
Standard 50. That's 07.
Nice. Clud brack. The rock breaks across the floor. You can feel the tunnel here's ba-boom, ba-boom. As you come up and you're running through these tunnels, you see these snaking fuses like moving faster than you can run as they're spreading like these burning snakes all through the caverns, every which way you can see. As you stumble through the bodies of the Siabran interlopers you left here before, as you can see the rail track as you're moving toward the chamber where you saw the children in, but you're not quite there yet. Terwin, you need to roll. Everybody roll, as a matter of fact, D10 plus your agility bonus. Terwin, what'd you get?
I got a 6.
Oof. Okay. Harper?
17.
Nice. All right. Harper catches up. Elisa, what'd you roll?
10.
Nice. Elisa sprints forward, coming around the corner in the darkness, almost stumbling over the tiny bodies of the children who were ritualistically slain, probably by the Siabran Demonsmith down below. Bringing us to Warren.
10.
You join Elisa and recoil in horror at the sight of the children. Banneker.
10 also.
Banneker's there side by side with you as you're both frantically searching for that sliding stone where they came through. Eugene.
10.
Eugene goes to the wall. He grabs a hold of this stone lever and flips it up at the door. But it's not moving fast enough. You're kind of hopping up and down, waiting for it to open faster. Come on, come on! The thing is far too heavy. Ooh. Things are getting tense. Terwin, there's just enough room for you to slide through if you wish to do so now. Go ahead and roll, everybody.
Sure.
What'd you get?
Yes, I got the best roll ever. I got a 4.
Oh,
Oh, God.
man.
Ooh. Okay, Harper, what'd you get?
13.
Okay. Elisa.
12.
12. Elisa quickly slides through, unsurprisingly, moving very deftly through the opening, and she grabs a hold of Harper and pulls him inside. Warren.
16.
Warren comes right behind you, pressing past both Elisa and Harper inside this dark chamber as the light begins to fill it. And you can see there these strange stone kind of beers within the wall where perhaps the Siabran were sleeping. This whole place is very strange. Banneker, what'd you get?
15. So can I split some of that? Can I grab the boss man and shove him? Can I give him 5 of mine?
We'll
three
find
of
out.
mine,
We'll
or-
find out in just a moment.
Okay.
So far, he's got the lowest
Trying.
value.
I'm trying.
Eugene, what'd you get?
I also got a 12, and if I see Harper or Tyrwin lagging behind, I would want to try and help them.
Okay. We'll get to that in just a moment.
Dodging through libraries. is
So-
what it taught me.
Let's see if Taryn actually can catch up with you. Because you all slide through the darkness and he's just kind of looking around as you see the light trailing in front of you. As he turns around, roll an awareness test. This test will be challenging.
Challenging, it'll be 31. And a 53 won't do it.
Okay. You search in earnest as you will lag behind. Unless you want to re-roll.
Use it.
Use it.
You might need it to
You
not
wanna use
die.
Yeah, we got
I'm pretty
fate
sure
points.
dying isn't.
A 15. Succeed.
Nice.
So
Okay.
Worth it.
Everybody roll. You turn around with the spotlight banner. You grab Tim and start pulling him forward. Elisa, you
Oh, man.
are slowed as you must reduce your value by 1. So, what'd you get, Banneker? Sorry, Terwin. My apologies.
I got 5. It's better.
Harper, what'd you get?
I got a 14.
I can't even get a 5.
Elisa, what'd you get?
A 9 with a -1.
Okay.
I haven't rolled above a 6 yet.
Warren, what'd you get?
I got a 10.
Banneker.
10.
I can't hit somebody for less than 10.
Eugene, what'd you get?
It's 9.
Oof. Terwin searching in earnest. You do not see them once again as they've disappeared in the tunnels. As you must take a moment to assess the situation. Roll a routine scrutinize test. You saw them pass around the corner, but the road splits in two and you can see light bouncing back and forth. You're not sure which path to go down.
51.
Boss, where the hell are you?
58 won't do it.
You hear the echoes of them down the hall as you feel you are impacted by mental peril.
Oh no.
As you will suffer 12 mental peril. And you start to panic.
I am starting to panic, alright. I'm ignoring 3 skill ranks.
Oh!
God.
You can feel your heartbeat in your ears at this point. You turn around and you don't see Terwin anywhere. Everyone
Are we
needs...
seeing fuses still?
Yes. You can hear the explosions from below and above. But you feel that you're not sure if you're going deeper down or further up. You have no clue at this point.
We're not blowing up, so we must go in the right direction.
But we don't see Terwin.
No, Terwin, everybody roll a D10 and add your agility bonus. Yeah, get away.
It's getting worse. Each time it's getting worse.
Finally.
Harper, you must reduce your roll by 1. Elisa, you must reduce your roll by 2.
Okay.
So, Terwin, what'd you get?
4.
He rolled a 1.
Oh my god.
Harper, what'd you get?
Oh man, I got a 12.
You can feel that you are growing winded.
Wait, now is it? It's D10 plus your agility bonus, not your movement, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Been doing it right.
Elisa, what'd you get?
7.
Warren.
16.
Warren's like, fuck out of here.
Give me the same. 16.
Banneker, 16. Wow. Eugene.
8.
We have the exact same movie. Yeah. Oh, wait.
Eugene, you look around in earnest for Terwin, and you call out toward him, and you swear you can see somebody moving in an adjacent tunnel, but you're not sure if it's him. Do you want to take a look?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would go back for him if I
Okay.
don't see him. Can I say one thing before I
Absolutely.
go? I say, at least give me my shield, because it's the only source of light that I would have on hand.
And Melissa will hand it over.
Okay.
Captain America's it to me.
You will reduce your movement as you double back for Terwin. Everybody, roll a D10 and add your agility bonuses. We're on the 7th of 9 rounds.
Oh, okay.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Harper, reduce your value by 2. Elisa, reduce your value by 3. Eugene, reduce your value by 1. Banneker, we didn't account for you. You need to reduce your value by 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Terwin, what'd you get?
4.
Oh my God!
Harper, what'd you get?
13.
Oh no. Elisa.
12.
I will be
Warren.
9.
Oh, you gonna die.
Banneker.
15. That's why I said
Eugene,
I
you still
still
looking for Terwin?
Yeah, I'm still looking for him. I would stay back and look for him. Do I still see the others ahead of me?
No, you've lost sight of him. In fact, you hear this boom sound right in front of you as the rubble crashes down around both you and Terran, as you both must make a hard coordination test. As the rock falls everywhere, collapsing.
This is my Bane test. This is the one that hates me the most.
17.
25 out of 19.
I got an 8 out of 17.
So did you both succeed?
No, I failed.
You failed. You
I'm
didn't
sorry.
crit fail, did you?
52. I failed. I just
Okay.
failed.
Rock falls all over Eugene. So he suffers 9 damage.
Falling deals injuries, right?
Maybe. What's your current condition track?
Seriously wounded now?
You need to roll 2d6.
This will be it. No injury, thank golly.
Oh man.
He manages to pull his leg out from underneath the rock as Terran pulls him to his feet, and the two of you look around. You've got the lantern shield in hand. You know what direction they went. You must run. It's the 8th of 9 rounds.
You stubborn bastard, let's leave!
Terran, roll.
Please roll.
Everybody,
above a 2.
roll. What'd you get, Terran?
Ooh, I got a 9.
Okay. Harper, subtract 3. Elisa, subtract 4. Banneker, subtract 4.
And I'm subtract 2, I believe.
Hold on. Okay, what'd you get, Harper?
8.
Okay. Elisa?
-4 is 10.
You mean I beat someone?
Or sorry,
Oh,
9.
this is
9.
Nice. Okay. Warren, what'd you get?
15.
Warren's
He's never going to be out of
We're
broad
sprinting
bonus.
to the
No.
end.
Banneker, what'd you get?
9 also. No, 8. Sorry, 8.
8. Okay. Eugene,
11.
do you want to stay with Terwin?
Yes, I do.
No, I start pushing him forward and I say, twice for poison, thrice for a kiss. I'm supposed to die a violent, fiery death. Go!
Boom! You hear this explosion once again. The lowest roll this time actually was Harper. Harper, you come to a fork in the road, and you can see that one path goes down and one goes up, and you saw them all go down the lower path deeper into the tunnels.
I'll follow them.
Okay, you can have pause for a moment. Make a challenging resolve test so you can kind of push through the stress. If you fail, you suffer stress.
Challenging resolve. That's 46. It's a 31 success.
Nice. You steel yourself, even though you know that if you go deeper, you could be going to your death. Maybe they don't know where they're going, but you follow along.
Oh, we don't know where we're going. We're just fucking running.
It is now
Chickens with
the
their heads cut
ninth and final round. Your final roll, Terwin, what did you get?
I got a 12.
Look at him rolling into double digits.
Harper,
13.
minus 5. 13, you said?
Actually, 12, sorry. It's whatever. Minus 5 would be 12.
Elisa, minus 6.
6.
Warren,
14.
Yeah.
Warren's been out of the tunnels for 2 rounds.
Banneker,
What am I at minus wise?
you're at minus 6 now.
Okay, 17 to
11.
11.
Eugene,
12.
here are the values. Let's see what happens. The people who are most at risk, Eugene and Terwin. Eugene has 69.
Hey!
Ah! That's a crit!
You can't kill me on that.
Terwin has a 67.
Oh, you can kill him.
Yeah, he's dead.
That's right.
And because you roll a 69,
Yes!
I have a 69, I will allow you to roll a d10 to reduce this value. 10.
Cocked.
I rolled a 0.
1.
You should have kept that 4 that was cocked.
It was cocked on a 4, and I was like, I'm not gonna take anything that's questionable. I'll just take what's worse.
It's true. I would have done the same thing.
On the other side of the tunnel, you emerge into what looks like some great dystopian nightmare. As you come out into the yards, as the light blinds you for a mere moment, you can see the white salt cliffs all around you. But the air is full of smoke. Confused brigandine soldiers and servants, teary-eyed, are walking around. Wounded people scream, and the smell of blood and smoke runs thick. As the mouth of the cavern is pouring with smoke, the scent of the reek can be smelled everywhere. There are huge holes in the ground all over, and the mountainside cliffs are trembling as if they're going to avalanche. Like it's going to wipe out not only the yards here, but if it presses past those tall palisades, it'll wash the complete camp away. You can see the doors are wide open, and the camp is being abandoned as they're running for their lives toward the ship. As you see this rock thud strike in front of you, and mud spats up everywhere, blinding you for a mere moment. As you look in earnest, looking for Terwin and Eugene, they're nowhere to be found.
Harper would go back.
As you turn around, there's this gout of flame that whoosh comes out of the mouth of the cavern, almost like the fire of a dragon, washing across the entire battlefield where you're all standing. And you take cover quickly against the smoke and cinders, and washes over everything. You see a few people fall, screaming as they're burning to death. Yet you all have somehow survived. The ground beneath you is breaking. The cliffs around you are collapsing. To remain here is to meet your end. So, Who is going to stay to look for them? And who is going to go to the ship? Banneker? This is an individual choice.
Why am I first?
You always ask.
What's going through Banneker's mind is probably a good question first off to ask.
New beginnings herald new endings. This is all new. I don't like it.
So to the ship with you?
Remember, this is Banneker's third chance.
Look to your dooming and let that guide your choice. I mean, it could be a guide. It shouldn't decide it for you, but consider your dooming. What is your dooming, Banneker?
New beginnings herald new endings. I don't know what that means, besides the fact that anything new I'm afraid of usually. Which I'm afraid of everything, basically, though. The only thing is like, this is Banneker's third chance in life. Not first, not second.
That's right.
This is the third time he's had to reboot his life. He'll stay.
Okay. What about Warren?
Warren's
What is your
dooming
dooming?
is you will die in a pool of blood, but it will not be yours. So, saving someone does not seem like a good idea. I'll run for the ship.
Elisa, what is your dooming?
Health is not always healthy. Yeah, no, she's gonna stay. So, even though she knows that she's got a life that she's currently creating inside of her, she doesn't want to be a person that doesn't bring up a person correctly. So, she's there.
Harper?
Harper would take off the backpack. And
what is your dooming first off?
It is the abyss also stares back.
Ooh.
That's actually
You take the backpack off.
And what I would do is I would hand it to Elisa, like the key and the seething stone, and I would tell her, here, take these back to the boat. You're the best one to figure it out. I'll bring them back. Or I'll offer it to anyone, really. You don't take it.
Elisa's not going.
Take it back to Sammy.
Sammy is nowhere to be seen.
I know. I assumed he's still in the
Warren,
boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I said take him back to Sammy.
Warren takes the bag.
All right.
What is the name of the saltpeterman who came here to? We told you he simply wants the salt to flow again. Do you recall?
Victor.
Salt's flowing.
A little too much.
Victor Malik. He's the one who spoke about the key and the seething stone. Who is going back to the ship?
Warren?
Warren will seek it out.
Yeah. Carper knows his dooming, but he also knows where he's going. So he's not afraid of that. He'll stare into that abyss.
Oh, I'm afraid of that. He just feels like
There is
last
this
chance.
ash and fire in an inferno raging all around as the buildings are catching flame. The air is filled with smoke. You can feel it stinging your eyes. So, firstly, we must dole out some corruption. So, I think that Warren's probably going to suffer 6 for abandoning his friends. Elisa will probably suffer 6 for putting the second life in danger and remaining behind. And that will be how we'll dole out corruption for this situation. As you all are searching in earnest, and Warren disappears beyond the gates and you lose sight of him in the smoke. Everything is collapsing all around you. All the stone and the rock, the huge salt cliffs are now smoldering from all sides, including the main cavern. It's just choked with smoke as you're looking around for Terwin and Eugene.
Have the explosions stopped?
No.
Shit.
Elisa's gonna take a laudanum.
Okay.
Can I? I'm gonna pull out my pistol and shoot it in the air.
Okay.
See if I can't get and scream. scream for them. Eugene, boss!
Boom! He pulls the trigger, but the sound
Damn you, new guy! You're gonna kill us!
the sound of the pistol firing off in the air is like the sound of a child squealing in a crowd of a riot. It is nothing compared to the other explosions, the roiling of the flames, as the thing is still smoldering in hand. And then somehow, in the darkness, Eugene spills forth from the smoke, choking and pulling himself out of the rubble, pulling his way toward you. You see him stretch his hand out, his face covered in smoke, his eyes filled with tears, as are all of yours standing in this yard.
All right, we'll we'll pull him out.
Yeah.
And do you want to run with him? We need to.
Find Terwin. Find him. Both of you.
All right.
It's a plan.
And Elisa grabs Eugene and starts
Heading toward the ship.
taking him towards the ship.
The two of you come to the edge of the river, where you can see that there's a single boat there still, as both Sir Virgil Leland and Sir Ambrose Wright are getting people onto the ship, and you can see that Victor is standing with Warren. Did you find them? Did you find them? He grabs your shirt, kept shaking you violently. The key, the stone, he says.
I have it.
He grabs you as you both are top deck, and he pulls you down below. You and Eugene come to the very shore where Sir Leland kind of ushers you both onto the boat, and they turn back toward what looks like the Palisades, now on fire, soaringly tall, 45 feet high. They're slowly burning with flame as the explosions continue below the ground and the assault lines. There's only one boat left. Sir Leland looks toward you. Are they gonna make it here? Should we wait?
You have no choice, sir.
This is not your boat.
We will wait.
Until hell, bro.
He nods, resigning himself to possible death as you see this flame just wash down the side of the hill as all the tents are washed away in this like whirlwind of flame and ash toward the river, collapsing with bits of wood across the cold river. And you can see snow mixed with ash falling all around you as you're wiping away the tears of the burning flame and the smoke, choked by it along the shoreline. We turn back to the yards.
Yeah. So Harper is going to go kind of back the way he saw Eugene crawl from, because that's assuming the way we came. If you can see in all this ash and salt, like any sort of footprints and stuff like that, he would try to follow them back to the way.
Hold on. I'm going to tie the rope around his waist.
Okay.
And then if he's got the lantern, I'll hold on to him.
Okay.
All right.
Roll a routine test. Routine survival. My apologies.
Routine
As
survival.
you're looking for footprints in the ash, looking for something.
53. It's 87. Failure.
You're looking in earnest. You can't see anything. You have no choice but to go down into the darkness yourself.
I'll go down in the darkness.
Will anyone go with him?
I thought it was trying to anchor him so we get a way back.
Okay, so it's just the two of you there. It's right.
Just us. We can make it if we try.
Can't make
Just the two of us.
You and I.
You and I. And then two will become three.
It's too bad. I'm going to pull you out. You might not have made it.
I'll yank twice if I need you to pull me out.
This is the same where the rope, like.
You come down, Warren, you come down into this low galley where you can see this burning furnace with this octopus of arms extending into the wood. And you can see that the pit is empty. They've placed all the coal they could, but it's not doing anything. Sammy is standing there. He's covered in grease and grime. And Victor is standing there as well, kind of looking toward you.
I pull out I take the backpack and hand it to him. It's all in here.
Okay. Will you place the stone inside the archright cauldron?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You grab the stone, it burns your hand white hot as you suffer. $19 damage.
Oof.
What's your current damage condition track?
Grievously wounded.
Okay.
Oh no.
You place the stone inside as it begins to smolder and seethe. Sammy grabs the bilge pump and flips a switch. It begins to, in the water, begins sound as the water is poured into the Arkwright cauldron. And then Victor is like heading top deck as he grabs a hold of you as Sammy stays down here. The key, he says.
Hand him the key as well.
Okay, he's grabbing you as he's pulling you up top deck. So he says, I got this, man!
All right.
The others are scrambling top deck. Meanwhile, back to the roiling flame of the yards. The fire is burning and smoldering, and you've got the rope attached to you. The two of you are there, and you look back toward the cavern where you emerged out of, just adjacent to the larger cavern that's burning with flame and collapsed with rock. There's ash and fire and smoke burning all around you. You begin to step down, coughing, as you feel the smoke kind of burning your eyes, looking in earnest for Terwin.
Yeah, so with lantern in one hand and like holding onto the symbol, the holy symbol with the other hand, and saying a prayer like that you would normally like whatever the version of the rosary is for the martyr. As I'm looking through the tunnel, through the darkness, waiting for it to stare back.
Okay. There's lots of fallen rock and debris in here, and discerning between person and stone may be difficult as you're looking with the left. Fortunately, you have a lantern to try to see through the ash. But we turn back to the yards. You hear this crack sound, almost like you think it's lightning for a moment, and then suddenly the palisades, they drop completely, in putting both you and Harper inside the yards. There's no escape unless you climb over that stone, and it's nearly 20 feet high. It just collapses. This huge dust cloud washes over you, threatening to knock you over with the power of the stones. Go ahead and make a hard athletics test to hold on to the rope and not be knocked over, Banneker.
That's a 21. 91 will not do it. But it's not a 69.
You feel the rope go slack as you almost fall over, and Banneker is knocked down to the ground as Banneker suffers 15 damage.
I am lightly wounded.
Okay. You come down to
We
your
still have our
knees.
+1, right?
Combat's over.
The combat's over.
And I am moderately wounded.
Roll a d6 chaos die.
That's 1.
Okay. You fall down and you don't scuff your knees. You actually jam your finger and you drop the rope, and suddenly you feel yourself kind of falling forward as you stop yourself against the rocks as you realize you're at a very steep angle where you could threaten to careen down the cavern where you came.
Harper, we gotta go! The walls have fell in!
I haven't found him yet.
I think he's gone.
You want to go? I ain't gonna hold it against you.
I think he's gone. If I can find the rope, I'm gonna start pulling him back up.
Okay.
I start feeling him like pulling me back up. I'm gonna untie it.
Okay. You pull the rope back up and you realize that it's pulling up too easily, and it comes out of the mouth of the cavern, and he's loosened it completely. Harper's still inside. As you're scrambling, searching around inside the pit in this tunnel, moving through the smoke.
I'm gonna be looking, because I know he wears metal armor, any sort of reflection from that, any kind of sound of metal.
Roll a standard awareness test.
Okay, that'll be a 43. That's a 90. Failure.
Meanwhile, at the shore, where Eugene and Elisa are, you see the entire palisade just collapse in bits of lumber and rock as it begins to burn with a curtain of flame upward. Sir Leland says, "They're gone."
I make my way to the helm
So are you? So remember the boat is still on this side of the river, and remember, the Madeline's in the middle of the river.
Gotcha. So we're on like a dinghy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the dinghy's on the edge of the shore. They haven't left yet.
Yeah. I'm gonna look around to see if there's like oars stationed nearby.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna pick up one of the oars, and I'm gonna look at him and go, "You're going to have to kill me to take this." And I'm gonna level it at him. We don't leave without them. They don't have to come back alive, but they have to come back.
You stand in front of Sir Virgil Leland, and against everything that they're dead. And he turns toward you, and you see Eugene standing defiantly with the oar, guarding Sir Leland from leaving, and all of you from leaving, as he says, "We're all gonna die if we stay here," he says.
Elisa pulls her battle-iron, and she stares him down, and she said, "The entire city would have died if they didn't sacrifice themselves. You will stand the fuck down."
He will look toward the burning curtain of flame, toward the palisade. And the whole yards appear to be ringed in a crown of fire.
I'll roll
At this
intimidate if I have to.
No need to do so. He will not go. Despite his urges, he will stay. Remember, he is a Bellegarde, and he and Terwin are close. Perhaps he has some spark and belief that somehow they may survive.
If the
Leland or Reichard?
Sorry, Sir Reich. My apologies. Sir Buzz Reich. That's right.
Yeah.
If the laudanum kicks in, could I potentially get a chance of True Detective to spot them, or?
That's a good question. Roll an arduous scrutinize. There's so much flame.
I would like to assist as I'm trained in scrutinize, and also be on the lookout for them.
Okay,
Look at the player's hand.
that's excellent. So hand her an assist die. 69. Come on!
That would be amazing.
Right?
No, but an 18 will do it.
Nice. Looking through the flames right before everything collapses, you swear you could see Banneker in the yards with the rope, and like that, he is lost in the flames. He looks like he was, but you see it. You see his head bob back and forth for the last of the palisade collapses, almost 20 feet high. They're still inside, but there's no possible way you could save them.
Is it 20 foot on each side of the palisade? Like, are we 20 foot?
No. So if you're on the bottom of the shore, remember it kind of winds this huge, steep, sandy silt cliff up toward the palisade that's 25 feet high. When it burns and collapses, it's 20 feet high, and it's burning with fire. I mean, make no mistake, the entire camp is on fire, and they are in the middle of a literal ring of fire. Meanwhile, back at the Madeline, you come top deck and you can see the burning flames, and you can see that Victor is there, and he's kind of pouring through this book, and he's pointing toward the wheel, like the captain's wheel.
We gotta get this thing airborne. Get the aerostat going.
You look toward it and you kind of try to find a keyhole, and you place the ivory wand inside and then turn it?
I think. I jiggle it around or something.
Okay. We're going to have you roll a secret pilot test.
Okay. Alright, pilot's flip to fail. And my chance is 49.
Can Sammy assist?
Sammy's down.
And I rolled an 89.
Okay.
Not a 69, though.
Nope.
It's too bad. You turn it one way and nothing happens. Back where we were. Back in the ring of fire. Back in the Laban salt mine yards. You continue pressing on, looking for Terwin. Roll a routine awareness test.
Routine awareness. That's going to be a 53. That's a 60. Failure.
Can I... Alright.
Yes. As you begin to suffer from suffocation.
Okay.
Oh.
That's 7 damage.
7 damage.
Actually, sorry. Let me clarify this real quick. Look up suffocation real quick. What were you going to do, Bannock, or while I look this up?
So I'm gonna go find him and bring him out.
Okay.
It's over.
Knock him out, throw him over your shoulders.
Yes.
He's helpless because he's
Sorry, that's physical peril. My apologies.
Physical peril? Okay,
Yeah.
7 physical peril. I'm still ignoring 1 skill rank.
Nice. Okay. All right.
If it's awareness, I can find it.
Yeah. So you step into the cavern, you realize it kind of there's a precipice and it drops down at a very steep slope. And you can see his lantern. You can see he's holding it in hand. You can see where he's at, and he's looking through the rubble and kind of moving through the ash and screaming out for Terwin's name.
All right. Try an awareness check.
Make a
If I can't find,
yeah.
if I can see him easily, I'll look.
Make
for
a
him.
routine awareness test to find Terwin.
Okay, that is a 71. Jiminy Christmas.
Oh my god.
There's no more. You used it, buddy.
No more
I didn't
fortune.
use it. Taryn used the last
You guys,
one.
you guys used it.
You're looking around and you can't see him anywhere. Back at the shore.
I think we're gonna die here, guys.
Get us to the Madeline.
I
Now.
have one idea. They're going to need to be able to get out of there.
We can fly over.
Maybe if the ship's any good.
We can fly over. Get us to the Madeline.
You board the dinghy, and you take the oar you have in hand, he takes the other oar, and you begin paddling as fast as you can toward the Madeline. You can see that the water is already burbling and boiling like steam around the huge galley. As you look toward the two masts, you can see that the sails have not even been dropped. They're not even prepared to leave the river. Not only that, by the time you get to the Madeline, the river level is up. You can't even leave the river. You begin to board the Madeline. We turn back toward the burning yards.
Searching.
Both of you need to make standard awareness tests.
All right. 43.
1.
30. Success.
03.
With the two of you there, the results of the chase scene. The lowest result
I'm glad you showed up.
was 67 by Terwin. The highest, 110 by Banneker. The explosions chase value, 66. Terwin is alive by 1 yard. You grab Banneker out of the rubble, and as all of you come out into the yard, you realize there's nowhere to go. The three of you look toward one another, bodies lying all around on the ground.
Well, of course, you bastards. Would come back for me. Never fucking listen.
You said you were going to die in a fire. We couldn't let you die there. Them's your own damn words. Blame yourself.
As he looks around and he's surrounded by fire. He just, starts laughing uncontrollably, and he puts his arm around you and he brings you in for an embrace as he just continues laughing.
Alright, you two mad fucks. There's gotta be a way out of here. I don't care. I didn't come this far and I didn't risk this much to die here.
Well,
And I gotta say to you, fuck your goddamn horrible woman that you sent us on this bullshit for.
What? It wasn't my guy that did this.
No, your Baroness.
Oh, well, yeah, well.
The three of you are essentially the foundation, the very root of the Dufresne Agency. As Terwin gives in to the flames, he can't help himself. It is, after all, the way that every forester dies.
Sorry.
Today, you sacrifice something of yourself to save Eugene, and he is safely gone. Maybe the custodian has come to take her toll now, as you realize, all of you realize, there is no escape. All of you must attempt a hard resolve test to withstand terror.
No. I've never rolled these. Hard resolve. 34. Critical success. I've never rolled these dice before in my life.
Failure.
Oh, one.
Failure.
Okay. You turn toward Harper and kind of shake him out of it.
What is wrong with you?
But Terwin continues his maniacal laughter as he suffers, oh god, 21 mental peril and 9 corruption.
Incapacitated.
Terwin drops to his knees, laughing. He's given in. It's another 6 corruption, by the way.
Father! Grandfather! I'm coming!
He pulls...
I'm continuing to hold the embrace.
He pulls the iron eye off of his face. As you can see, this is
It was bronze.
bronze, this hollow pit where his eye once was, as there's this maddened smile that's washed across Terwin's face as he realizes that he's about to die. And smoke washes over all of you. Back at the ship. Illuminate! Illuminate! You hear called out by Victor across the way. You can see Terwin and this and Victor Malik, the saltpeterman. They're at the helm of the ship, and you can see they've got the ivory one, and they're kind of turning it and not really sure what to do.
I'm gonna run up and get out of the way.
Can't figure out this confounded thing.
I'm gonna assist, having looked at all the books and having read as much as I could potentially about
Do you have a
this.
skill rank in pilot?
I don't. I
Okay.
have an education.
Oh,
Unfortunately, it won't help.
Damn it.
This is going to be a routine pilot. She pulls at the book and she's pointing toward it, but you're not really sure how to make heads or tails of it.
Warren's
She's
waving
trying to
the
talk
wand
me
like a
through
wizard.
it. Snatch it out of
Like
Warren's
baton.
hand.
Conductor's baton.
I have 49 and I flipped to fail. I also have a rank in pilot. Oh god.
Did you critically fail?
critically failed.
Oh no.
With an 88!
Eugene cannot figure this out.
I'm the only one.
He drops to his knees. He almost threatens to break the ivory one until Lisa snatches it out of his hands with the books in the hand, and you can see that Victor's got the papers and he's pointing toward it. Warren's throwing his hands in the air. Eugene's on his knees. Elisa has the key.
True detective?
I think True Detective counts here, and I don't think you need to roll any test. As she places the key inside,
I'm high as shit. I can figure this out. Come on.
It's just like.
It's
Like the ship, you can go higher.
It's like one of those Renaissance paintings. where, like,
Counterclockwise,
everything is
you
going on at the
idiots!
same time.
suddenly the entire ship begins to shamble, and you could hear the bilge pumps kicking the water inside the Arkwright cauldron down below, as the Madeline is now fully functional.
Hold on.
As you see this huge, like, patchwork cloth, like, sail begin to open up until it turns into this massive, massive balloon, 3 times the width and diameter of the entire ship, and then it raises toward the air.
This ain't right.
I don't care.
The whole thing, you hear this clud, and water is spilling forth from either side of the Madeline down toward the river as it's literally lifting into the air.
Once she gets it started, Elisa runs back out to the deck to look again because she remembers kind of the area that she saw them last.
You come top deck and you begin to scramble up the masthead and look over, and you realize the ship has soared already 50 feet in the air above the water, and the water is still pouring off the side of the Madeline and spilling forth as the seed stones water that's boiling in the Arkwright cauldron is dispensing this dirty, fetid liquid from the bottom of the hull. And suddenly the ship begins moving, and it begins to turn to a slight side as you see Victor spin the wheel and then grab a hold of it. The whole thing just kind of jars to the other side as you're all thrown to your feet. As you collapse across the deck, you can see that Sir Virgil and and my apologies, and Reich are top deck, and they're looking in earnest along with you. You see a few others up on top of the mast looking for them, and you say, "I see them down there!" Someone calls out. It's Abigail. It's the Gralstetter.
We get them. Drive us to them.
Ropes! Ropes! You hear called
I run
across.
for ropes.
Aim the water towards the fire closest to them. If we're still draining, at least we can potentially put it out.
The whole thing spins. You hear this kind of groaning sound, the same groaning you heard when you brought it through the stead wall. The entire thing, like it threatens to fall apart. And you hear this snapping and the snapping of a plank, and then you see suddenly where you had caulked the side of the thing. Yeah. You see these splinters of wood just explode out, and suddenly this hot steam pillar coming off the side of the thing that sends it in a counterspin through the air, as suddenly everyone's thrown to the ground as you begin falling from the mast, and you collapse into the ropes between the nets that are strung between the two masts, like a carnival thing used to hold all the cargo inside. You all are standing amid the yards as the flames are just roiling all around you.
Oh, you're fucked, mate. Let's see, they're leaving. You know, if it means anything, you're one of my favorites.
I know.
Where you were.
All you can see is smoke and the darkness and this burning blue star overhead. The Leviathan's eye at night. The only thing visible in the sky, save for the burning of flames all around you.
I was supposed to die, old and rich. What happened to that dream?
Here I always thought you would die, old and dead, the young woman on you.
Please, let's go with that one.
The maniacal laughter, Terwin snaps you out of it very quickly.
Well, let's hunker down at least. Let's keep him safe until the end. I don't know what else to do.
No. This is my life. I am for it. This is for me. I shall protect thee with mine own body. Isn't that what they say? Yeah, I forgot what they say.
Up above, somewhere above the Bastards River, the ship goes spinning once again, throwing people across the deck as you see someone fall off the edge. Someone needs to get a hold of the ship and control it. Victor cannot pilot this thing.
I run for the wheel.
Okay. You come to the wheel as you and Victor kind of holding onto the captain's wheel on either side. Turn to the left, no, turn to the right, starboard, no, the other way! As you're kind of arguing back and forth. Go ahead and make a pilot test. This test will be secret. Where's Sandy?
I have a 39 as my standard. I would flip to fail, and I rolled 51.
Okay. The ship levels out and begins to descend. Faster and faster and faster until you see the ropes fluttering through the air and then flying above the ship as you're dropping precipitously through the air. Then suddenly crunch, like you hear the snapping sound in the galley below as the whole thing just comes to a stop in the air as if it's dropping on something hard, as everyone on board suffers 9 damage.
I need to roll 3d6 for injury.
I gotta roll 1d6.
It's falling damage, so
Yep.
go ahead and roll 3d6.
Oh, God.
2.
I'm injured.
You hear this sound as suddenly Eugene's leg snaps at the knee as he falls down. Falling damage, you can no longer move.
It's fine, I'm stuck on the wheel.
He falls down holding onto the wheel as it pulls to one side, then suddenly begins somehow the whole thing comes to a slow kind of like it's sputtering in air and slowly kind of spinning in one direction, and the ropes drop down. And then suddenly up above in the ring of fire, you see this thing emerge from the stars above, some great shadow comprised of a great hull that weeps. It weeps water, salt water, and you can see these strange oily tentacles reaching down toward you as you think this must be the end, until you hear the call of Warren over the edge. What does he say?
Grab hold!
Warren, you're on a dragon monster?
And we will, as you grab hold the ropes and pull Terwin up, you begin to clamber up the ropes as the smoke is pouring all around the Madeline, as it is now a fully functioning Zeppelin. And as you leave the Bruno Lehman salt mines behind.
And I'll start piloting since.
Yeah, that's right. We will.
I don't let go.
We will
never let go,
conclude.
Jack.
We will conclude this act with the escape from the salt mines born atop the Madeline. It is end of an act, so you all get one advance. You also gain a fate point, and
Some of you need that.
we will continue next week, I guess, because it's only appropriate. But maybe we should turn towards something I wasn't sure if we'd be prepared for tonight, but it's the Final Fantasy airship music.
Yeah.
I know. That is so
So, how
So-
about that corruption roll?
Oh,
Yeah,
man, that
corruption tonight, huh?
Where's Sid? Somebody find Sid.
Oh,
so
God.
You can actually pilot this.
So, okay, I want to before we roll this, I want to talk about this chase scene. These are the results. Okay, so the total escape value was 66. The values were 67 Terwin, 99 Harper, 109 Elisa, 111 Warren, Banneker 120, Eugene 69.
I would have had at least 100, if not more, if I'd not gone back.
That's very
Why
true.
Did you go back?
Cause,
No man left behind.
yeah, you're also our de facto leader.
Not de facto. He is the
He is the
but-
leader.
Debate.
So, this is literally now marks the second to last, the next to last chapters. That's the penultimate act, and now comes the end of Queen of Embers. And armed with the knowledge and the things that you have and the things that you know, we will spend next week going back through the story to ensure we can have the story beats down, and then we will see how you. We will see how you bring the entirety of Queen of Embers to a close. Corruption roll tonight. 10?
Oh my god, I didn't get a corruption.
I get a corruption.
Yeah, but only one.
Chaos.
Only one.
I got an order for all that shit.
Rats.
I was in the
It's at
table.
9, you get one, right?
That's right.
9 one way or the other?
Yeah.
Next session, I will either gain
No, it's a 10.
corruption.
It's
Oh, it's a 10?
You mean a disorder?
I'm at 8 and 8 currently.
Nice. So you've got 2 sessions left.
2 sessions.
Unless
Well,
you just...
unless you real fuck up.
right.
Very, very possible.
Possible.
Very possible. Gene's great at that.
So
Oh my God.
I admittedly I didn't think you'd manage to escape.
I know.
I was really thinking
I was
it's
really
over.
thinking we were mostly dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, are we off?
No.
Oh, above board. Could we have used a fate point to live?
Maybe.
No.
Could I like spend 4 fate points to live?
No. You're dead.
Maybe.
Auto kill. You don't get a choice.
You don't get a choice. Oh, hey.
Just
this
stop,
is yours
drop, and
now.
roll down the hill.
Dan,
Really
or you
try.
can have that one.
That's right.
Dan gave us one to share. We don't have to share one anymore.
Yeah.
But where
So-
do I go?
I know, right? You will share.
We don't have
You will share a
combat
drawer
anymore
anymore.
in our-
So.
Until I can change.
So we will see you all next week for the exciting conclusion of Queen of Embers. And thank you, patrons, for patronage.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. It'll be episode 70 next week.
Yep.